Hello everyone, we're here with OSAS and ISS today, and the first match is Pillow Pilled versus CFG. Hi P-Flare, how are you doing, and are you ready to see a game where Vice and Luna are banned?
I was about to say, yeah, I am ready to not see Luna. I'm gonna say that much. But no, in all sincerity, this one is going to be pretty cool. I think just looking at the lineup that we have, these are both going to be some pretty ferocious teams. I'm in particular looking at Slenderman's and Taro. I've seen him before. We're gonna see him again, and I fully expect to see them show out today in particular.
Yeah, Thundermon has been fantastic, but taking a look at the goalie matchup, which will be revealed in just a second, and also it's Demon Deus. It's not at Lab. That's a bit of a blunder on my end. Taking a look at the goalie matchup, what do you think?
Mm. That is going to be very, very interesting. I personally do not often see Kazan in the gold box, but that going up against a Mako, I have to imagine that is going to be like a very interesting like setup, being able to kind of like reach between the two.
Yep, and we'll see. Demon Deus is a violent map, and in OSAS, players are still trying to figure out how to avoid the damage a lot harder than just dealing the damage out. That Kazan's Moonlit Owl will have a very tough task on this Kazan goalie, but Kazan goalies are specialists, right? They get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, no, 100%. They can do a lot of tricks. They can reach the core in some surprisingly unexpected ways. So what you may have thought like was a good clear or like a good shot on goal can be deflected more easily than one might expect when a Kazan is in the box there.
Yep. We'll see if that continues here. Stepping up to midfield is Moonlit Owl. Flip out by Razuk around Ewi perfectly, and a flip for the KO as well from Katastic. It's overtime now, and with an open net at their back, it's such a dangerous spot. Slendermon interrupts the clear. Ewi just tries to send it back into the corner, but Katastic stuffs it all out.
Sweet, absolutely incredible like shot just from Kitastic. They nearly had it at that first attempt right there, but they did manage to recover and push it through. So good on Kitastic. Good on like being able to pilot that Asher. Forward Asher is always going to be kind of scary, kind of intimidating, especially against the walls there.
Yep, lots of damage onto Slendermon, who's being taken down quite efficiently by Razuk, and also, of course, Kazan, right? Great at confirming KOs. Not quite there either, and not quite there. Wow, okay. That's a lot of abilities burned.
Yeah, no, everybody went after him. They saw like, no, kill this Centauro, and nobody could manage it. So yeah, great work on Slendermon for just being able to survive that, burn out those abilities, and hopefully get a little bit of the offense going for CFG.
Now the offense comes into play here. Slendermon, it's difficult. Pillars are trying to create offense, but Slendermon's just so incredibly low, but Takuma's in there, and the barriers fall. Demon Days is such a lopsided map when the barriers fall, right? So much room, and those sound waves at the sides, they just create so much offense.
Yeah, like they even tried to clear it and just were not able to, just quickly like bounce back. They've been managing to kind of like get some attempts on these barriers, but Iwi has just been very on point with the defense, been able to deflect or just like re-aim a lot of these attempted shots. So they've got to find a way to like get past that, and that's much easier said than done.
Yep, Iwi's very good at these vertical clears behind the barriers, but with that KO, the defense finally falls. Slendermon needs to push up here. Oni's Blade, but the red core right to Razuk. The passing play awkward in the mid space here, but a great flip out from Ewi will buy time for the respawn. Katastic in position with Tacoma on the top side. The pass splitter clogging up the entire lane, and Katastic, the core sent right to the goalie, but on the second shot, it's placed perfectly between the midfielder and the Mako. It's 2-0 now, the lead for CFG.
Yeah, they are definitely feeling good about that one. One more to go before this all-important draft coming up. And right now, Pillow Pill definitely needs to find a way to answer back. They've had some moments. They've been able to open the goal up, which is great, but they need to find some ways to finish, try and get past this Kazan, try and get away from like this Asher that Kitastic has been piloting like so effectively, been waiting in the wings to get these passes and shove the core through.
Flip available for Katastic. Picks it up at the very edge. Goes for the same shot again that they did in the first point. Unsuccessful. Mako, Cage, and Sarah Drum so much damage onto Katastic here as 2 barriers still stand. One finally drops. Tacoma creating some offense on the other side perhaps, but no. Patient play by Moonlit Owl here, but completely impatient on the flip. That's a big resource wasted.
Yeah, for sure. Kidtastic already looking kind of like low, having a flip to try and like help bail him out in case Kidtastic got KO'd, but that's gone now because of Moonlit Owl. So fortunately, Razuk did manage to get their flip up right now. They do have a bit of a panic button available once again as we hit into overtime, and right now it is Pillow Pill that are trying to push through.
They managed to get 1 barrier, but they haven't found the success that they've been looking for so far. Oh, a tricky strike situation for Moonlit Owl. A good flip coming out. Slendermon, flip available, KOing the goalie with the rush. And there's Tacoma on the follow-up, placed to the bottom corner. Pillow Pill, they're still in this one, but they're going to have to play as consistently as the previous point because CSG, they've been pouring on the damage more reliably in the previous points.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They've been very aggressive for the most part, and they've been able to push whenever they sense just a little bit of weakness. So for sure, Pillow Pill gonna have to push up. They do have the barrier open. They will be looking to take a quick advantage of that as that barrage goes out. I have to say that Pillow Pill is definitely still fighting. That KO from that last point, definitely a sign of life there, and they are looking to continue that.
Oh, and that's a big sign of life. Slendermon with the rush forward. Tacoma with the Giggle Blast, taking out the goalie 2 times in a row. 2 for 2 on the last 2 points. In this 5th point, though, what are you looking at to start this off?
Looking at how the levels actually have kind of like switched places, you can see that all 3 members of Pillow Pill are at level 4. Kazan's still at level 3. Like Owl kind of been got the last 2 points as we mentioned, and they have to find they're gonna have to find a way to play like a little bit safer because Slendermon's just been constantly going after them and been making these kills happen, getting these goals in happening. So they're going to have to watch that if Pillow Pill decides, hey, that's an avenue we can exploit.
Yep. Right now, flip available for Thunderbond, rushing forward, but not enough to get a barrier, and 2 gone on the other end. There's the flip KO, but you have no barriers taken here. Not sure if that flip was worth it, but this power play will prove either way here as both barriers fall. A flip available now for Razuk, deflected away. The barrage, the last pellet, just enough to send it to the top corner. And Moonlit Owl doesn't get the strikeout in time. It's 3-2. It's a huge comeback win for Pillow Pill.
That was insane. Just perfect. Like, even if it was incidental, that was perfect, crazy timing. Just managed to stuff the flip, the clear to him entirely. Massively rewarded for that comeback. I'm seeing a lot on the table here for them. Super Surge gets taken, unsurprising. I wouldn't be also surprised if that fight or flight as well from Pillow Pill.
Yeah, that fight or flight on the Kai, who is already all over the midfield, is going to be very devastating. But you forgot something.
Oh?
The Mako definitely should have picked up that team player. Now we're looking at a team player, Kazan. That's the one thing that Kazan goalie is known for.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that team player did not get picked up. Mako definitely would have been served very well with it. And meanwhile, as we get started on here, Kidtastic looking low, but was basically fighting a 2-on-1 in Slenderman and Tacoma, so hard to blame him on that front. And even then, those 2 are still very low. Seems like the damage is starting to pour out, and this is going to get a whole lot more dangerous. And it wasn't exactly a picnic in the first set either.
Yep, Slendermon in position here, picks up the orb to stay alive. A great snipe by Razuk, though, earns a barrier out of nothing, earns 2 barriers off of just striking better than the other team here. And CFG, they're not done yet. Another strike or win. They're out striking.
Yeah, very basic, but very effective. Just got the core in hand and just managed to push it through, managed to kind of like intercept what seemed to be like a dribble attempt almost.
And you can't be dribbling in front of the other team like that. You have to respect them a little bit more. Katastic, though, that's the respect that Katastic deserves, right? Slendermon burning all the cooldowns for the KO. Well worth it for the brawler of Pillow Pill. Flip available now as the goal opens up and the power play still continues. Oh, what a hit stun to send Slendermon away, and the point is still going.
That was incredible timing, incredible placement. Just that, because that would have been a goal. Otherwise, they still did manage to get the goal anyway. But props on the defense for just shoving them out of the way of what would have been a surefire, just like flip shot in. But hey, that was still a goal. It is still tied up for this set. Pillow Pill still ahead by a set, and it is up to CFG to kind of find an answer to all of this, especially this damage that's constantly coming out onto Kidtastic, who almost seems to be public enemy #1 at this rate. You know, unless they decide the owl needs to go.
Oh, we'll see. Good positioning here for CFG. They just need to find the strikes, need to find the passes instead of dribbling to themselves right now. Slendermon goes in. Moonlit Owl almost own goals, but the hook will prevent that for now. It's still a point where CFG are surviving, and a flip will make the barriers even here, but they still got to push forward.
Yeah, barriers are only one part of it. That piercing shot goes out, barely misses it, but they do manage to get the goal. Shoves Tacoma out of the way, says, move on side, let me score. Elware can't get to it.
It's just a situation where CFG are just playing better than Pillow Pilled in those strike interactions, particularly. They are respecting the opponent's space, and in a lot of defensive situations, Pillow Pilled are kind of just giving the core to CFG, and that's where CFG capitalize.
Yeah, it almost feels like Pillow Pilled are trying to focus like a lot more on like the damage aspect of things. Meanwhile, CFG are just, we're just gonna play good Omega Strikers. How about that? How does that strike you? Pun not intended.
Oh, and that flip burn is rough as well for Pillow Pilled. A lot of resources gone. Good step up by Elwie to try and create some offense here, but these strikes are getting risky. Razuk's in position, but there's a power play in the favor of Pillow Pilled, but they're getting it out pretty well here. All the way to the other side of the world, the core goes. Enough stall to get the respawn for the Asher. Giga Blast attempt, the tricky play, but so many cooldowns burned for nothing. A missed strike, though, uncharacteristic for CFG, will mean the barriers fall, but they're in position. The pass splitter cuts off the top angle, and there's nowhere left for Elwie to go. Razuk finds the goal.
Yeah, just very nice placement on that path splitter. Razuk, again, kind of missed that like piercing shot, but managed to, again, clean that up, knock it through both defenders, and takes off a very worthwhile MVP. Got a lot on the table here.
Yep. That 1-2 punch as well, right? In those corner situations, if the goalie sends it back to you, that additional core speed on the Estelle will be so scary. Heavy Impact Centauro is going to do a lot of work here, but my eyes are on that core speed and the survivability, the peak performance being picked up by Kidtastic as well.
Yeah, definitely that peak performance is going to be a bit of a game changer because Kidtastic's been taking shots all day. So by all means, that kind of like survivability, absolutely. But take that all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. Though I am still worried, like you said, about that heavy impact on Slendermon, who's been dishing out a lot of damage. Might just render that almost null. You know what I'm saying? Say, I can hit you just as fast as you can recover. Just that speed ain't gonna be worth nothing if you're dead. So we're gonna see if that actually plays out.
We'll have to see. Kidtastic is incredibly low at the moment, taken out already. Tacoma in position to create some chaos. The barrier's not falling just yet, but a good mix-up by Slendermon. Plays it patiently, and the core speed comes in as well. No barriers now means a very difficult offense, but the team player Kazan, if it ticks over to overtime, could do a lot here.
Yeah, very nice. Managed to save that barrier for a little bit. Caster's curse a little bit on there, but they are getting back on the defense, are Pillow Pilled, as they try and manage to push through the defenders. Overtime coming up. That core is going to be flying.
Yep, Kazan sending it back and forth here. The barrier not connected with, and the flip by Slendermon. Simple, but quite effective to seal this first point. It could have gotten a little scary. It was overtime Kazan goalie, but they sealed it away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Baited out the hook a little bit and said, no. So there goes that point in favor of Pillow Pilled as they get started on this next one. Definitely going to want to try and like repeat this as they all like line up around the center line. It is already kind of getting like chaotic on this third set, and it is only going to get worse or better if you're a spectator.
Oh, these strike wars though. CFG is on point this game. And Kazan pushing forward into the mid line as well, but you can't be using the topspin like that. It's such a laggy move, and getting punished for it. RCFG, Katastic and Slendermon battling it out. Brawlers and midfielders parallel in the midfield at the moment. They've completely split the map, and there's a KO. There's a dash punch.
Yeah, they were calling ISO on them for a minute there, and there we go. Bets paid off, and now power play for CFG. Open net behind them. It is on them to push. And there they go. Nice. Nearly got the Soren angle, but Kitastic dives through, punches it in, says, no, this one's all tied up now. And it is looking like this one is going to be very fierce.
Yep, it is looking quite dangerous here for Kitastic. Gets the flip, doesn't get KO'd. That could be what changes the game here as a flip to the bottom side, looking for another strike war, but a little too many interactions, and Pillow will get out of there with the barrier still standing, take a barrier on the other end, and Katastic and Razuk are critically low right now.
Yeah, this game has been a lot of damage flying everywhere as barriers on both sides going down, and Slendermon in the right place at the right time to push it through. Meanwhile, that was kind of like a little bit of an ability war going on between Slendermon and Razuk. Those two have been having some battles this game.
They have been fighting it out. Been quite chaotic as Tacoma trying to find these strikes, but Slendermon, who strikes first on the other end. These strike wars have been getting better and better from Slendermon as this game has gone on, and you gotta watch out for the health bars yet again here. Very creative clear by Moonlit Owl, though. Putting it in danger is not good, and just waiting for the strike. An easy flip goal for Slendermon as Pillow are really taking control of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you saw how that strike went. Basically the same, I believe, as like the last goal, where he just like flipped and he just sat there as Moonlit Owl just kind of blew their abilities and was like, okay, you done? Okay, I'm gonna score now. Thanks. So they have to like keep that in mind. That's twice they fainted him out for a goal as we get into these like drafts. Bulk up going on Kitastic. I'm looking at that in particular. That's a lot of stagger on that lady.
Yeah, but bulk up recently, well, we'll see how it goes. But bulk up is not what it used to be, I believe. So it is still a lot of stagger. And Katastic is very tanky, and this is a game of damage, and we'll see if that's a big factor. But I think they've focused a lot of damage on Razuk in the recent points.
You're not wrong, and frankly, completely understandable. Look at the size of that health bar on Kitastic. That makes a whole lot of sense to try and focus a little bit more on Razuk, who's been giving a lot of grief to this team. So, by all means, we need to see if they can manage it, though. A bit of a rough clear. That was an own barrier, and they put a quick advantage. Goal open for Pillow Pill. CFG definitely want to kind of get that and wrap this point up.
Oh, there's a big KO. Tacoma rushing forward now, but this defense is looking very, very doable here. And the offense has stalled, but there's the barrier taken. Slendermon has flip available, and Slendermon's been so accurate with the energy burst as of recent.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very scary sight seeing that blue above Slendermon's name. So they are not wanting to give them an opportunity. CFG doing some game defense, but there goes Slendermon. There goes the flip. There goes the dash. There goes the point.
Yeah, that was brilliant capitalizing. And importantly, right, Moonlit Owl was just autopiloting on defense. Just throwing out the pop-up, throwing out just every cooldown on Kazan so quickly. You need to stagger them a little bit, or else you don't cover enough time to wait out a flip. Kazan is one of the better characters at dealing with flips. If you watch players like Mov and Koei, I guess that's a bit of a high of a standard, but he's got to be a little bit more patient with it and space those out to cover a lot more time. But as I'm talking about the previous point, here's another flip goal. Mako, not a character with tools to deal with that one, though, so nothing wrong with Ellie letting that one in.
No, CFG striking back quick and nimble as they can be. So we are tied up for this point. One barrier going down. Tacoma looking very dangerous. I have to say, they have to kind of like find a solution to this. Slenderman has been a nice answer and trying to like get Kitastic, get Razuk down, but it's starting to look a little bit dangerous as they just push it through. And Kitastic basically on target, on point, saying, "Look at me, break yourselves upon my body."
Yeah, just shoving it in the corner, and Ewi has got to figure something out, right? Katasik has gotten the better of so many defensive interactions, Razuk as well. Oh, but that's an own barrier from Moonlit Owl, and that's a huge opportunity for CFG, barely missing the goal here, but if they can get out of the corner efficiently, they can do anything, it feels like. Katasik, though, covering so much space, a dangerous spot to be in, but that's Kazan we're talking about, can strike it away without too much trouble. Tacoma rushing forward, trying to end this in this set, trying to prevent any more scaling from going on to CFG, but with one barrier going down, with Ewi feeling dizzy. Oh no, you can't be letting barriers down like that. It's a huge opportunity for Katastic, and Moonlit Owl saves it as well. Sundermon to the top side, but that's a Kazan goalie.
Yeah, incredible defense on the side of Moonlit Owl, as Pillow Pill definitely are trying to push back. They do not want this to like go their way, and they do. Tacoma with the barrage pushes it through, ties it up, says, "No, we want to wrap this one up. We ain't getting paid by the hour."
Wow. 1 point away and a flip on Tacoma. Oh, and Tacoma went for it all. Was aura farming so hard. Wanted to go for the Giga Blast flip, but didn't get it and lost two very, very important abilities for it. Now Tacoma with 0 energy. It could be a target here.
I'm not even gonna lie. I respect the moxie. I respect the attempt. Just like, nope, they're not like, no way they're gonna expect this. No way they're gonna like not do this. Just went for like bet the farm, lost it all. CFG looking to take advantage. Razuk trying to get in position, but they do manage to deflect it. Do Pillow Pilled. One barrier gone, and Pillow Pilled definitely again trying to wrap this up while CFG trying to take advantage.
Oh, and Razuk almost took advantage there. There we go. There's the 1-2 punch on the primary. Very, very well navigated to bring us to the 5th set here. And heading into the Awakening draft, this could be scary. Katastic is looking like a monster here, unkillable already. And with Demolitionist on the table as well, this is an Asher that could just take over the entire lane.
And there it is. The Titan is online, full and ready to go. That extra special will be kind of a nice, honestly, it's a good shout. It's a good call. But really, at this point in the game, yeah, that Demolitionist is just the scariest thing on the board, I think, for how both teams have been playing, personally.
Yep, we'll see. We'll see if a difference can be made elsewhere. But CFG are looking very, very dangerous. Tacoma almost one-shot there. And the pass splitter as well. Tacoma, you got to get out of there. One more ability and you're gone. But Katastic is eating every single one. No evades to be seen here from the Asher. With that kind of stagger bar, I guess you can be confident. But, like, that's a little too confident.
Yeah, no, like, everybody, like, no one is immortal. And I have to say, like, everybody just kind of kit dumped. Like, mag dumped on it, like, nope, we got to bring this one down, even if just for like a few seconds. And unfortunately, they didn't manage to get anything off that. And Katastic, quick with that vengeance. Power play for CFG as both the barriers down to 1. And this one is looking like it's already been like a slugfest, but both teams just throwing out big haymakers at this point.
Yeah, but when Pillow are forced on defense, that is where they're not comfortable. That is where CFG have capitalized so many times. And that's where we see the core rotating around and around. So much damage in the corner. And there's the barrier take here. They're trying to accelerate it forward. No one's there, but it isn't scored just yet. Around the world once more. Sundermon looking for a play. There's a Giga Blast from Tacoma. But can they score? Flip available, Slendermon. But there's the piercing shot. 6 seconds till the respawn. Another defense out from Razuk. The flip burned so early. And now Razuk flips it away. There's the goalie coming back. And Pillow Pilled. They just pressed their buttons too quickly. They were too impatient. Slenderman still in position, but there's Moonlit Owl on the defense. Strike Force being won for now, but Moonlit Owl forgets about the barrage. A brilliant play by Tacoma to bring them 1 point up in this final set.
That was sick. And like I said, they're just throwing haymakers at each other. But one of the problems with haymakers is that haymakers ain't exactly aimed. They can miss. They hit hard, but they can miss. So both teams throwing out what they can when they can. And both teams kind of paying for it a little bit. But in this particular case, it was Pillow Pilled who managed to get the better of it, who managed to kind of slow things down. Nice pinpoint barrage. And right now, it's Kid-tastic that is paying the price.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes here. Tacoma taking a lot of damage here. Slenderman in position, but a good topspin. Perfect time to use it from Moonlit Owl. Slenderman in position, though, has the strike there. Goes for the mind games, but kind of goes right at the goalie, unfortunately. They still have good setup. They still have a flip on Tacoma. They still have good positioning on the map. And there's the flip, but blocked out by Kid-tastic. But it's important to keep CFG on defense if you're Pillow Pilled. This barrier is doing everything right now.
Yeah, for sure. And you have and I have noticed right now, it seems like CFG have started to understand that, like, no, they like to bait us. Because that's twice now that they went for, like, the ability bait, and they did not bite. So, good on CFG for, like, learning. It's a little bit late, but they are not out it just yet. And in fact, that barrier's going down. Flip goes up. Flip. Counter flip. Moonlit Owl, what?
Moonlit Owl just forgot to strike it. Oh no, and now that's Pillow Pilled with a massive lead in this final set. It was a cross-map shot. And that's the one thing you shouldn't be letting in as a Kazan goalie. But there's still a chance for redemption. There's still a flip available. But this Ensnare Drums, wow, what a snipe by Ewi. And what an advantage at the moment for Pillow Pilled.
Like, that was great on Pillow Pilled's part. Slenderman looking a little bit low, but by all means, Pillow Pilled is in the driver's seat. That was a funny little barrage, but look at that slow. There's a flip. Slenderman has to retreat. Barriers are open on both sides. Goals are ready to get scored. This is looking like very scary, but it is Pillow Pilled. It is on them to finish it off. Slenderman does! Beautiful dash, beautiful hit, just perfect timing, clutched out when they needed to, and it is Pillow Pilled who takes this one.
Well played from Pillow Pilled. It was really, really close in the earlier sets. At times looked like CFG were just dominating on offense, but Pillow Pilled, they recovered. They figured it out, and importantly, they just realized that if the brawler just goes for a scoring opportunity, it'll probably work out. And that's what Slenderman did so many times in this game. And they got it done.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at the scoreline, look at the KOs. Slenderman with 7 KOs. Tacoma with not too shabby a performance on that front themselves, but with how these goals work, with how these damage, with how like the damage and the shots going, you can definitely see like how Pillow Pilled kind of got the better of CFG. Just a lot of shots that got in mostly due to CFG's impatience. That was kind of the key for like a lot of this game. They tried to like change it up around like that last set, you notice, but they didn't. They kind of went a little bit too far in the other direction almost. Like we said, like with that last goal with Owl just forgetting to like strike. Like, yeah, it's good to have patience, but sometimes you can have a little bit too much patience. So gotta kind of find a way to get that happy medium going to CFG.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see. It was really well played by CFG in a lot of those offensive plays, but yeah, they need to find a balance here. And well, we'll find a balance in these breaks and these games as we head to round 2. Don't go anywhere. More OSAS coming up in just a sec. Welcome back to OSAS. We haven't gone over to the ISS side of things just yet. We're here with legalized space blobos versus 2.5 players on everyone's favorite map.
Yeah, this is going to be quote unquote fun. Inky Splash Zone.
It's beautiful. I love seeing Inky Splash Zone, and we also love seeing the draft here. Juno got hit with a nerf in the patch, still very playable as a character on a map like Inky's. That's exactly what you want, right? And that is what we're going to see here. On the other side, a really interesting draft, Erasmus era Drakkar on Inky's. That's not something you see every day.
No, not at all. Although part of me wants to say I can kind of see the vision. That's a lot of potential for like redirecting and forcing the core through. But then again, I mean, the other team can do that just as well. Like, so it's one of those things where I kind of see what they're going for, but at the same time, not really. But I am looking forward to it. It looks interesting.
Yeah, it does. But the comp of 2.5 players definitely looks a lot more standard, a lot more what we're used to seeing. We'll see. We'll see how it goes here, and that's gonna be really what determines this game. Because on Inkies, you have to be comfortable. If you slip up a tiny bit, you can get punished so hard. You can lose the bear. You can instantly lose the goal. It's all about whether you can keep up your game plan.
Yeah, for sure. Like Inkies can be won or lost in a blink of an eye, and we have a lot of like good players, if you ask me, on 2.5 players team. In particular, again, Zentaro, Insane Membrane, got the Siphon one ready to go as we kick off here. Let's see who takes first blood, shall we?
Yep, Siphoning Wand does seem pretty good this patch, I gotta say, compared to the other gears. So we might be seeing a lot of damage, especially onto this era, maybe even onto the goalie. Really, a good strike shot coming out, and we're already seeing at 2.5 players. They're confident in their offense, and they're keeping it up quite often here, saving the water cannon for when they can get into a good spot, and they do manage to get it away, and Zane Membrane setting up, but a good strike by Delicious will get it away from there.
Like, very nice attempt. You can see the intention there as the water cannon goes out yet again and still denied. So both of those water cannons, good attempts, but no dice on either of them, which is interesting. I'm glad that the water cannon didn't end things at the very least.
Yeah, just good defense from the goalies there. JP Mac had to make a bit of a timing read and managed to do so. On the other side, though, oh, JP Mac, you can't be forcing it into the corner against double melee forwards like that. Era and Drakkar, they can't do anything to you if you send it through the center. A bit of an unnecessary loss of goal there, but on the bright side, they have a lot of energy.
Yeah, they can have to like learn that lesson very fast, because that is not something that you want to repeat too many times. That's something that can easily be taken advantage of. Water cannon goes out again, and it is like defended against. So good on them. Kind of missed the barrier out of nowhere though.
Yeah, a little awkward, but there's a water cannon to play with here. But Insane Membrane's the one who gets the core here. Baits out the strike, but doesn't just strike it into the goal. Delicious gets a second strike on it. I feel like that shouldn't have happened. But, you know, legalized space ball blows. Like, they're capitalizing on the opportunities being given to them. Command Crisp, though, is not long for this world.
Nope. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Oh, I thought they would go for a KO on Drakkar, but they settled for the goal instead. It's all tied up here.
Yeah, make no mistake. If the option is kill or goal, go for the goal. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if most everybody else was expecting the same thing.
Yeah. Barrier already falling here. Another strike by Comfy Yuki, and that's more of what I expected from what I saw in the first point. I did expect a lot more stacked offense from 2.5, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, for sure. They saw even just a little bit of blood in the water with that strange goal, and they are trying very quickly to take advantage, push those numbers, push those blobos, and hopefully catch, legalize Space Bobble is just a little bit lacking. So hopefully we can see if that works out. Excuse me.
Ooh, Commander Chris taking a lot of damage. That Drakkar is in danger once more. Walking around JP Mac though. Gets out of there for a second. Lots of slimes on the top side, but Lootmeister there to strike it away. But Comfy Yuki has been the difference in this midfield. Delicious defending for now, but these angles are so difficult to read when the Juno is there. It's an entire set carried on the back of Comfy Yuki.
Yeah, no, Comfy Yuki took charge of that one. Blabos raining everywhere. Some crazy angles, some awkward angles, and frankly, just some off-timing shots managed to get them this set. So very nice on their part, and hopefully they can continue that kind of play going into this next set as these drafts get taken.
Yep, that size in a night away from the Rasmus is big, but my eyes are on that Dash Awakening Mako going to be activating a lot of speed for the team. That could just stack up with other Dash Awakenings later and make it so that the team is moving at quite the rapid pace. Comfy Yuki in position is scary, but right now, Rootmeister also doing a ton with that fight or flight.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be like scary on both ends. That Aerials is like the start of some frightening work there. But at the same time, Wootmeister, yeah, a lot of like good like positioning, and Commander Crisp as well, just ready and providing a surprisingly dangerous front when they get online.
Let's see if that does end up continuing here. Era has a lot more map presence with that Awakening now. And Command Crisp has been getting into position as well, but there's the primary coming out from its Insane Membrane along with the passive strike, trying to take out the goalie perhaps, trying to get some hits done in, and not quite enough. Meister's low. JP Mac in a difficult situation, but hitting away from the Drakkar, and that's exactly what you need to do against a brawler like that with not much reach. Still continuing in the corner though, and that's where Era thrives. Insane Membrane in there, but not enough, and the Water Cannon going to be dangerous.
Oh. Yeah, it was dangerous, but Insane Membrane manages to catch the core and knock it through Delicious, and just not in position for the save. So good on them. Tie game. Well, yeah, tie set so far.
Yep, tie set so far. Flip out to the other side of the world. Delicious with the hits done. Not quite enough here. A lot of slime pressure coming out from Comfy Yuki though. And with a flip available, that's the player you should have your eyes on. No, it's just Insane Membrane who catches it with the Oni's Blade. Delicious doesn't get the hook timing on the Rasmus to take the core out of there. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, that was great on Insane Membrane's part. Just the Oni's Blade. Delicious kind of tried to challenge it, but couldn't get the timing right. Because, yeah, there is a timing to kind of like deflect that Oni's Blade. As one of the members of 2.5 players goes down, they get that score. And Legalized Space Bomb is definitely looking to take advantage.
Oh, there's the passing play. They just make it so difficult for JP Mac to even try to get some defense in. Taking out the midfielder is like taking out the heart of a team, especially in the case of 2.5 players here. And it's now a 5th point. It's a dangerous spot as energy is high on Delicious and Crisp.
Yeah, energy's high. Positioning has been good on them for the most part. Insane Membrane almost ready with a flip of their own. Oni's Blade comes out. Nope, just redirects it, knocks it straight in, and we are done with this second set. 2.5 players, looking good, looking fresh. Yuki still with the MVP, just letting that gentle theme play. And what's up next is a surprising and very nice mix of Awakenings.
Yep, this is a pretty interesting draft. My eyes are actually on the Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush got mini rework to give even more flat cooldown reduction, which I think is a very weird decision to go in. But it's a very good Generalist Awakening now. It just cuts cooldowns by 1.5 seconds, which is just really, really good, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. That, and I am also looking at, again, heavy impact Zentaro. Match made in maybe not heaven, maybe the other place, but it's bound to be effective.
That's a very, very quick KO. But Insane Membrane solo takes the barrier on the other side of the map there. Yuki, an early strike, but they still push the core forward. Water cannon coming out, dangerous spot to be in, but they snipe it away for now. And they weather the power play just enough here, but JP Mac in the corner, dangerous spot, but manages to Soren angle it around, manages to dribble around, and manages to get the follow-up strike as well. But the offense doesn't end. Wootmeister is in the perfect places here as Insane Membrane rushes forward. Not quite enough, and the offense continues. And on the third try, Command Crisp gets it done.
Man, third time's the charm. JP Mac tried to defend it. Strike shot just a little off target, but Legalized Space Babo is more than happy to take that point and hopefully looking to build off of it.
Looking to find some more hits, done a little bit more damage perhaps. Not quite enough at the moment. JP Mac and Yuki building up a lot of energy along with Insane, who already has the flip available. They need to cash out here, they need to find a good spot to use it in, but right now it's just looking like they can't get past Wootmeister in the midfield. The Slimes are doing work though, and they catch Delicious off guard. Maybe the water cannon's what they need here as they get it away.
Maybe, but you want to know who else got away? That was Commander Crisp throwing that breakaway with that team advantage. Cannon goes out. Commander Crisp still went for the flip. No dice, missed it. Wootmeister there to clean it up. Very nice on Legalized Space Babo's part. Kind of like keep that play going. Delicious was very good with like keeping the core up front to let them push ahead and get that goal. 2 on now are Legalized Space Babos.
We'll see how it goes here. Yuki with the dribbles. Trying to find a little bit more from Insane Membrane. Not quite enough to get the barrier just yet. Command Crisp lurking in the midfield here. Trying to get it forward. Trying to get it into the goal, but not quite enough. Still, Command Crisp taking a lot of damage here. But finds the dribble, finds the pressure, but it gets taken out. And Wootmeister also not long for this world.
I'm not too surprised. Insane Membrane has been cutting them up. Wootmeister looking very low. Delicious not exactly looking healthy themselves. Insane Membrane proving they insane. That blade is flying. And frankly, all 3 members of Legalized Space Babos have to be very careful. Especially with that water cannon coming out, ripping up Commander Crisp. There goes the flip. Does get denied. So it is 2.5 players definitely trying to take advantage of this particular bounty ASAP.
Insane Membrane with the final strike, and they get that point cleaned up. They build up a lot of energy on the midfielder and the goalie as well. 2.5 players in a pretty good spot here, all things considered. But they still need to make sure they're not put into those 1v1 corner situations where JP Mac has not been successful.
No, yeah, that seems to be a recurring issue of theirs, but it is one that I do hope that they are looking at and kind of like realize at this point in time, especially because with how Commander Crisp has been playing, they've been playing like very heads up, very dangerous Omega Strikers, but very effective Omega Strikers when they get an opportunity like that.
Yeah, the defensive woes continue for 2.5 players, unfortunately. And that is where the Legalized Space Babos are finding their edge. A big awakening draft, and this is really important because, first of all, you got to deny Hotshot, but Rasmus goalie loves Hotshot, so you're not even sad about denying that one. But 1-2 punch is also available. No, Missile Prop has to be the worst possible choice here. Out of every single choice you could have made, you're denying your own Drakkar at the end of the draft where no one else wanted to take Missile Prop, and you're taking Missile Prop, which does basically nothing on you. That has to be the worst choice that I've ever seen in a tournament. And I've seen Monumentalist Dubu.
I actually genuinely have no words. You've kind of said it all. I just... What?
Well,
okay.
The one thing though is that you do not need to win draft to win games, especially in OSAS. And right now, they're playing better. They're playing better, and that's what matters here.
No, you're right. You are right. In general, like their passing, their offense is actually pretty solid. They are moving up. They are pushing, like honestly, very well for some very good clears. As that water cannon just tears up Comfy Yuki, and they are very quick to take advantage. Commander Crisp saying like, "Oh, I ain't got missile prop. I don't need missile prop. Forget about it. We gonna win just by playing some good, solid fundamentals." I mean, we're on Inkies also, so I don't know how much fundamentals will work, but hey.
Inkies is a pretty fundamental map. It's just different fundamentals than the most of the gameplay here. You need to play your kickoffs really well, and right now we're seeing that actually come out from Legalized Space Blobos. They got a huge advantage on kickoff. They got the barrier early, and they converted it into so much offense here. Command Crisp is doing so well in just a really far forward brawler position, putting so much pressure onto JP Max so often.
No, yeah, you're right, and I do see that. So good, definitely good on Commander Crisp. Been very much a key component of this offense. Hoopmeister is jumping things back up, beautiful with that goal. So yeah, if they can keep this up, all things are looking up for Legalized Space Bobos. That was a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, it is looking like it's fully in their control now. And the big thing is that JP Mac is just struggling to get it out in the 1v1. And a lot of that's because of Rootmeister. Commander Crisp is doing a ton, but Rootmeister has enough speed to catch a lot of these rebounds, which makes it even more difficult. And picking up that explosive entrance, denying the dash awakening from the Mako, although the Mako does get Twin Drive, and giving yourself more bursts of speed, more impact damage. This Drakkar got a lot scarier here.
Yeah, honestly, I'm liking all 3 of these picks from Legalized Space Bobos, like especially like that Super Surge. You mentioned earlier that they were like zooming around, basically being able to keep the core up, catch any clear out attempts, and it's only going to get harder for them now with that Super Surge. Look at that era fly.
Yeah, that era is flying, but so is Insane Membrane. A big opportunity here to get something done. Comfy Yuki incredibly low. Recovery drone still available, and that's a large Juno that's been taken off the map. Command Crisp goes for the mix-up, barely misses the angle, but still has so many more tries to keep getting it done here. There's the strike board. There's the shotgun looking for the strike afterwards. That was a pretty good fundamental play. Just didn't quite have the gap close to do so. But they're putting on the pressure continuously. Delicious stepping up. Insane Membrane in position, though. There's the hook. And so much patience here, but the Oni's Blade a little impatient. Still a chance, and too much patience this time from Delicious as Insane Membrane capitalizes on that goal.
Yeah, that was sick, just how he laid out the death touch and just kind of like let it sit there. So, but like you said, a little bit too much patience on their part, and it was Insane Membrane who eventually decided, okay, enough waiting, time to act, and caught him slipping. That's how a lot of these stare downs tend to get won.
Yep, there's a big flip coming out, and the barrier's still not taken. JP Mac winning so many crucial interactions here, and Comfy Yuki dropping back to help out perfectly as well. This is a new team from 2.5 players. It feels like they've stepped it up so much compared to the past 2 sets, but they got to keep it going. Insane Membrane flip available, hits on the way. Delicious with a flip available as well to try and defend. The barrier still not taken, and a flip, an early flip by Delicious, but easily defended for a flip so close to the corner there. A dangerous spot still for Legalized Space Blobos, but I think they've stabilized a tiny bit.
Yeah, no, they've been doing a lot of good there. Beautiful shot from downtown. Perfect pitch. Almost perfect, but does get defended away. JP Mac, like you said, everybody has kind of like stepped it up a gear on 2.5 players. And suddenly this game is getting a lot more harrowing. And right when they need to step it up too. There goes the second point. And we are on match point for 2.5 players.
Yeah, I'm just feeling the lack of hotshot here. If Delicious had taken hotshot instead of a Dead Awakening and Command Crisp had missile prop, they would have scored 2 goals already. It didn't matter in the previous sets because they were outplaying, but it's starting to matter a little bit now.
No, yeah, because now it is 2.5 players. Again, like they stepped it up and they're just executing really good. Like, look, tried to get that hooked back, but just a little bit off. And it's like almost death of 1,000 cuts here, if you ask me.
Yep, there it is. Insane Membrane in position, and there's the 1,000th cut from JP Mac, a snipe from the other side of the map, and a complete turnaround from the previous 2 sets. what an adaptation from 2.5 players. And
That
yeah.
that was that was crazy. 2.5 players suddenly playing like they had 4 players on their team. Very nice on all of their parts. Comfy Yuki getting a much deserved MVP. Put half of that on that back, said everybody needs to shape up, but guess what? Everybody did. And they walk away with this win. Very nice on their part.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see. But that was a great game from both teams. But sometimes when both teams are stepping up, draft does matter.
No, you're right. Sometimes it really does come down to what kind of awakenings you get, how the draft rolls, and that's not always that's actually not always in your favor sometimes, even if you like get the win. But in this case, it very much worked out for 2.5 players.
Yeah. The guys play Spalbos though. They dropped to 1-1. They still have a chance to get in the bracket, and with the gameplay they displayed, I think it's looking very, very doable for them. But we'll see when we come right back. And I think when we come right back, we're gonna be hopping over to ISS for a little bit for their final round. So don't go anywhere. Hello everyone, we're back and we're heading into game. It's Water versus Misconnections. The team name's just Water. That's the team name.
Yep, that's it. We saw plenty of it in our last game, and in a way, more of it this game. Well, I know a little bit about misconnections, in particular, Primal Shack, but what are we looking at in the case of water? That's one that is a newbie for me.
So the team might be new, but the players are not. It's Water Fury, Strages, and Big Tilt. Definitely names that you've seen around.
Hmm.
Uh, they have had pretty solid results in the past. But so expectations are relatively high for this roster. Not sky high, but relatively high.
All right, that's definitely sounding good to me. And looking at these picks, yeah, I can definitely say that I am looking forward to seeing them once again out on the pitch. In particular, I just like Vice, so definitely looking forward to seeing that character rock out, especially on Night Market, where a lot of like her antics can really play merry havoc with how the core is pushed and basically, yeah, the offense is pushed forward. Nah.
Yeah, but this comp from Water is a comp with a game plan. They got
Mm-hmm.
the Vice goalie, they got the Drakkar forward, the Ivy midfield. They will KO you. And the question
Oh
is,
yeah.
will our misconnections ready for it? Because it seems like that they weren't aware of that game plan. They banned the Atlas, the stereotypical Water Fury pick. But this is the Vice comp.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is all about that. And you can kind of see by their like own pick, they are not exactly, lacking in the hurting department. I mean, mostly just because X is X and X does X things, and they all have extra special. But with how they're from what I'm looking at this comp, it is definitely going to be one that it's going to be a bit of a slugfest, I feel.
Absolutely, but it might be one team doing all the slugging here. Look at that. Primal Shack already taken down to almost nothing. KO'd.
Yo.
That was just a coordinated KO. That was just a random KO 10 seconds in.
Yeah, that was just them like shredding him, and there go the barriers. Although that was a very nice log to get past him.
Yep, still pushing forward is Big Tilt here. And we'll see, we'll see. Oh, what a strike. What a strike roll from Big Tilt to the top corner. That's 1-0 to start off, and they're already looking pretty good.
Yeah, no, that was a statement. And you saw like when Primal Shack came back, he like immediately got pushed out to like half health. So if their game plan is just pick a target, like look at that. Yeah, if their game plan is just pick a target per like kickoff and just shred them, that could cause a lot of chaos and a lot of trouble very quick. As you can see, like Arctic already very low. Primal Shack even then having to play like very cautiously, and that's leaving Water to have just all the offense, and they're all misconnections are already kind of playing scared, I feel.
Yeah, as they should be. This team is rolling right through. Their flips are going to be available. The 2-0 on the scoreboard and the energy advantage is ridiculous. They're coordinating perfectly here. If Big Tilt doesn't randomly die here, which he probably won't, this is looking like another point as they just methodically take the barriers.
Yeah, there goes a flip. Managed to wait out all the abilities. Did kind of lose control of it, but in general, very nice. And yeah, just kind of said, oh, we lost the core? Kill anyway.
Yep. So much coordination too, right? Big Tilt, getting the core and the Water jumping with the Thunderstruck if necessary. The KO, the knockback, everything's working for them here. And with Drakkar being first pick, it's getting even scarier. My eyes are on that prize fighter, which will be stacking up to its new 4 stacks.
Yeah, that is frightening, but there it is. It is taken, and honestly, right now, Water is looking more like a flood.
Yep. Twin Drive given over to the Vice goalie, not denied by the era. Disaster strikes. That Vice is going to be getting in there so often, even more than before. And look at the pitiful awakenings. Team player is great, let's be clear. But built different on the era and a single spark with 2 sparks appearing. For Primal Shack, they need power now to stay afloat, and they got none of it.
Yeah, no, like Primal Shack's, I was about to say half dead, but oh, he survived that. Okie dokie. So, never mind.
This team is so good at confirming KOs too, right? You got the dash pop on Strages, you got just the shotguns, everything on Big Tilt, and of course Water will be jumping in there. Oh, those primaries pretty good as well. Primal Shack trying to find something, finds a dash punch. And now the KO team's going to fall apart a little bit here. This is a huge point that Misconnections can take control of.
Yeah, should convert, get this barrier down, but Big Tilt making sure that it doesn't happen before the revive. Very nice on their part. They kind of, you said like it was kind of like could fall apart, and it absolutely could, but that requires them mentally to kind of like break a little bit, and they did not. Big Tilt just stayed the course, kept things steady, and now they're back and in control.
Oh, that shot placement, though, was a little awkward. Dreaming so high, covering a lot of space, and now the team player is going to be the main thing. But there's the KO coming out again, and what's good with team player if you don't have a team, you know? That team is gone. The points are stacking up.
Yeah, that is another one on the board for Water. Washing over Misconnections all day, every day. Misconnections has to try and find something, and there is a little bit of a sign of life there as they do get one barrier.
But the damage continues. Arctic needs to evade one of these shotguns, but it's such a difficult thing to do here. Almost taken out. There we go. Okay, well, that one wasn't difficult. You got to press the evade button, Arctic. This is a KO comp you're playing against.
Yeah, no, that one was just easy. Line it up to the head. Boom. Did not get away from it. And Big Tilt trying to send everyone on that team on tilt. Just knocked it in. No shot for clear. And already looking to take this second set.
Already looking to push it forward. Trages, flip available. And Primal Shack already on death's door. This set is looking just completely solved by Water right now, as there's no evades on either of the forwards here.
Yeah, like Primal Shack again looking very low. They're just constantly pushing up, and Big Tilt just killing as they will. You saw like earlier, Big Tilt literally like sat in the middle for like 5 seconds, did absolutely nothing, and they still kept possession.
Well, okay, let's be clear. Sitting in the middle is the meta on Night Market, especially if you don't have a speed cooldown up. Like, it's like legitimately good to do what they're doing right here, especially if you're getting it through like that. A Strike War 1 versus absolutely everyone, credited to Water, who stole that goal low-key. Wait, did Water steal the goal, or was he in there? Forget about it. It's Missile Propter Car. Forget about it. And Deadeye and 1-2 Punch and Expect Training are all on the board. They're undeniable. They're absolutely undeniable. It's cooked.
Yeah, this one is looking pretty frightening. Although, switch to Specialized Training, which honestly still good, because goodness knows they've been hit. Water's been hitting people with that Supernova all day, every day.
Oh no, you had to double deny Aimee here, I think. Well, of course, it's still like overwhelming, but I think you had to go 1-2 punch in Deadeye and Era, because Strages is gonna be dash popping you. Water's gonna be one-shotting you. Well, it's more of the same. The snowball has already rolled.
Yeah, no, it's not a snowball. It's a bit of an avalanche. So at this point, it's kind of just watching and seeing how it ends up. That launched Arctic. Oh goodness.
Oh, and wait, Big Tilt, was that an own goal, or was that a Strike War loss? I can't tell at this point. All good though, because oh my god, that's an own goal. Oh my goodness, what a Night Market angle.
Yeah, I mean, that's Night Market, but it's also like the way things have been going out on this. It's just it's just insult to injury.
That wasn't even a knockback KO. Well, actually it was, technically. But there was so much damage that it might as well have been a stagger KO. But yeah, Primal Shack, it's just that they're transferring damage so well, and that the evade usage isn't quite there from Misconnections. They seem to press the evade key. Primal Shack, of course, can't right now, but in a lot of these early deaths, it's just that they're not pressing the evade key, really.
Yeah, really should. That's something that they kind of need to like learn quickly. Otherwise, this is going to happen to them a lot more often. Not really. So lessons there.
Oh, but Water steps up a little too far. Supernova doesn't catch the core, and there's a goal for misconnections. And that buys them a little bit of time. Flip available on Dubu. This is still a set that they can win. They seem to start avoiding damage. Arctic?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Arctic, but Arctic is dead. And now they have every chance in the world. There goes that second barrier. And that looked like all three of them smacked that core in.
Yeah. And the thing with avoiding damage is that what you do after you press the evade key also matters. Arctic evaded at the right time, but then walked into the entire enemy team who are saying thank you and pressed all their cooldowns on them. Well, and it happened again.
So, 2-1, 2 sets by Water. Kind of looking to wrap this one up as Arctic comes back. And, oh, I'm sorry, just this damage.
Well, when we usually see complaints about damage in OSAS ISS, it's nowhere near as coordinated as this, right? Like, they are pushing it to the max right now, and it is looking like this is going to be the final point. Water blinking in the Firewall Sentry, big tilt on the follow-up, streaming so high, barely getting the roll off, getting a good clear as well, but the final KO from Big Tilt, and Water will complete the dominant victory to make it to bracket.
Like, that was just monstrous. Big Tilt putting everybody on that team on tilt. I used that joke once, but I'm saying it again because yikes, that was monstrous.
Yep. It was a pretty short game. It was just well coordinated, well KO'd, and misconnections just weren't ready for a team like Water, unfortunately.
Nope, not at all. Just I've used all my Water wave jokes that I feel comfortable using. So I'm just gonna say very good on them on Water. Just managed to roll over them. Misconnection definitely kind of needs to go back to the tapes. Watch this one over a few times and kind of think about, okay, what do we do when we face a team that is actively trying to KO us this hard? We need to have a game plan going in. They need to start like doing a little bit more like theory crafting for those kind of situations, because this ain't gonna be the only time that happens.
Yep. Well, that was a bit of a short game. Misconnections though, they had some bright moments, especially the goalie, driven so high, had the goofy own goal, but other than that, like, they had really solid clear angles against a coordinated team like this. So definitely looking forward to seeing them later in future ISS weeks. But we'll see you in the bracket stage, which might be a little bit from now.
Hello, welcome back. We are here at OSAS 12 Week 3 qualifiers. We are at the bracket stage now. It's the cream of the crop here. I think 9 teams here with a dream. Only 2 will get out alive. I'm here with Bam from Ball and Ballers. Hey Bam, how you doing?
Yeah, doing great. I'm very looking forward to both team facing each other and seeing who's gonna come on top.
Yeah, it's actually Seraphim Crimson, who has been a long time. I think even you might have seen them back in OSAS 4 against Project Tides, who are a relatively newer team. And I think they're relatively new to the bracket stage as well. But we're going to see each other on Taiko Temple as Missile Pro Hotshot start coming out. And Project Tides banning out the Rasmus and Crimson banning out the Asher. Both really cool bans coming out with the new meta, actually, with the new patch drop ban. How does this look?
Definitely interesting. I will say that Era Finney as a forward duo is interesting. Let's just say that. I will be looking forward to how it's gonna work out, because that's not a lot of pressure, but can definitely be something. And Seraphim Crimson's comp is definitely damage focus, and we'll see the double siphoning one too.
Yeah, I mean, it's the more meta of the two comps, I think. I mean, I don't know if Era Finney was meta anywhere, but obviously it's OSAS Comfort, and there we go. We see Cass going out, the Pauldron's Fubu, taking off the field for another 8 seconds, and a quick first point taken by Tefonk on Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, we can definitely see the missile prop value already coming out on the side of Seraphim Crimson. Yeah, already getting a kill on the goal, yeah?
So it's pretty scary. I mean, Tefonk has to be happy with this starting Awakenings, right? Because he's a Drakar main, and we see Malachi on his coveted Mako as well. But good Tofu Fortress coming out, holding for a little bit, and then unfortunately loses the Strike War against the Mako, and nice Taiko plays by Tefonk as they look to rotate it around Emerald Volcano, and another kill onto the Dubu. They cannot just catch a break in Project Tides, and Zieko now on the line, dangerously close, and the goal goes in. Master Malachi, 2-0 lead for Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, I definitely need to watch out on the edge, not get killed as much, because it's getting scary. With the size, with the Pauldron, makes it easier to die on the edge of the goal.
Yeah, I mean, Zieko already looking low, and the Luna ult layered on top, getting nuked with a flip coming out. Secondary used, and unfortunately too many people crowding the goal there for the Dubu to clear.
Yeah, a lot of cooldown dumping in front of the goal. Really hard to actually save that. Not a lot of opportunity on the side of the blue team.
Yeah, so we're in draft. Malachi is first, well-deserved. What do we see here, Bam?
I mean, I see Prize Fighter. They're already getting kills with Ad Rush as well. This is a really rough draft for blue team, because there's a lot of powerful Awakening in the draft. There's also Spark of Strength, getting those scaling. Stinger, really good with siphoning. Interestingly, no Ad Rush, no Prize Fighter taken, and no Spark of Strength taken. I'm very surprised, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's a Prize Fighter Ad Rush. It's a little... It's those Awakenings that are for people who are really confident in securing kills. And I get it, like, sometimes you don't feel like you have that consistent output, but we do see the Finney taking it, and Zieko might be able to hit level 2. There we go. Finney finally has access to the big finish. And nice kill turning tables onto Master Malachi, but he is coming back and power play. And can they take a second? No, Yugo is there for it. And Tefonk, nice play around the Taiko once again, getting around Cast. Who I believe was a beta season Omega and is now returning to the game, and the goal goes in. A nasty Mako baby cage from Master Malachi.
Yeah, also the Dubu wall not working properly as always. It is very, very unfortunate.
Absolutely. I mean, this is double barrier on Taiko. Finney big finish layered up. Unfortunately, the goal not open, and Project Tides were not able to catch their first point, and Emerald Volcano stuck in the Mako cage. Nuke layered on. He is looking dangerously low. Tefonk looking for the kill. Is not going to find it, though, as they are forced to play a little bit of defense as Project Tides have control of the midfield. And the Mako secondary coming up. Tefonk not quite there in front of the goal to take advantage of it, and Yugo was stunned. Zieko unable to get to the goal. And the big finish layered on. Tefonk shoots the Finney off the map now, as Project Tides have to survive through another power play. Aranado goes out, is used. Master Malachi wins the strike war against 2 players. And now the Tofu walls are holding the Mako cage, coming out the angle slightly off, though. And this is Yugo with a core flip, has access to dash. Tefonk almost has energy. Malachi has energy. Everyone has energy, and the nuke comes down, and the goal goes in. Seraphim Crimson 2-0. Unstoppable momentum.
Yeah, they're actually playing really well into this comp. Layer interaction compared to blue team, which are a little bit struggling defensively. I mean, with the amount of damage that red team is pulling out, it's pretty hard to defend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there we see Emerald Volcano go off the field again. Is there anything this Era Finny forward hero can do to alleviate the pain? I mean, taking off Mako off the field might be one of it for sure.
Yeah, it's this comp is kind of weird because there's not really a way to survive. Like, they're pretty stationary. They don't have dash. They just have speed boost. That's not enough to survive damage. So it's gonna be really rough for them to actually play against this comp.
Oh my goodness, and yeah, there it goes again, and Era, no way out. Seemingly impossible to dodge these cages and these torrents of bullets, and Tefong lining up again, wins against the big finish, but Cass is there to block it. Tofu Fortress coming out, and now, oh nice, a misdirection, winning against Yugo, who has to use his flip now, and saves it. But now Project Tides do have another chance at a play, but not if Cast. Somersaults over the core. Great placement by Tefong, getting the second set secured for Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, very solid set like the first one. And now we're gonna look at the draft. Very interesting here. I mean, on Drakkar, there's not a lot. Probably peak aerials. And I'm gonna be honest, this draft is pretty low value for both teams. There's a Deadeye Finny, but maybe stacks for red team because blue team is not gonna take it with them dying. No one took the spark, right? Yeah, no one took it.
Yeah,
so.
no one took spark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Peak is one of the only survivability awakenings. It goes down all the way to Dubu, I guess, but
it definitely is interesting. I think Era definitely should have taken it, especially with her dying perma.
yeah.
But even with peak performance, it doesn't really matter that much. They're still gonna take a ton of damage. But it would have helped a little bit for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, because Emerald Volcano brought down low already, and that little bit of speed and a little bit of stagger might have helped, but Malachi actually looking dangerously low, and Cass trying to back up the Era, trying to switch spots perhaps with Emerald Volcano. Unfortunately, didn't end up all that well. Big finish coming down pretty good, but Tefong does win the strike war, and now he gets the lower barrier for his troubles. Yugo passing it around to Master X Malachi with the Mako Cage coming out, dodge, and a Finny triple take coming in the goal just to make sure that Project Tides can get the core out of danger zone. But the midfield line is such a hard place to cross for them, because the moment they do, they seem to be getting shot down permanent, and the shotgun comes out, Cass clears again, Emerald Volcano loses strike war, and there it is. I think this is 7th point in a row for Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, defensively it's really hard to play, especially with Era Finny, which makes it really hard to just get out of the zone, especially with a Luna goalie that can just come up and win another interaction.
Yeah, I mean, they got a great double barrier off of the big finish, I believe. Yugo wasn't happy about that, but unfortunately they do also lose 2 quick barriers of their own, and Zieko brought down really, really low. This can be really scary, and Dubu using his flip, Cass trying to get it through Tefong. Unfortunately, this is Drakkar with the core flip, and Zieko's getting shot on the other side of the field, and Tofu Fortress not quite there quick enough. Tefong bringing Seraphim Crimson to match point.
Yeah, very unfortunate on the Dubu wall timing, but really well played by Tefong to go underneath it.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary moment. I mean, Project Tides has to find some way to stem the bleeding and turn the momentum around. Now they're playing triple defense here, and there's just a lot of damage getting stacked on as they gather around here. And they do take a barrier of their own. Tefong is brought low, but Zieko has no energy, no stagger. Tefong just dribbling around, and Master X Malachi gets hit by the somersault, and that's exactly what Cass needs to get the core out. And Zieko trying to keep up with Master Malachi. Emerald Volcano uses the Era Dash as well, and both teams have an open barrier. This is the best chance that Project Tides had as a chance for a goal for the first time in ages, actually, and Cass holds well, but there we go. We see the Finny not go off the field. They're trying to turn it around, and Tefong, nice fancy angle around the Taiko into the goal. Seraphim Crimson, I mean, 12 seasons of OSAS, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them in Season 4, and now they're back here again. Pretty dominant win, I will say. The damage worked out really well, and there was really no answer for blue team.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Good plays coming out. I think the meta understanding and perhaps the character pools even on Seraphim Crimson outpaced Project Tides, and unfortunately there's only one game to decide it all, and this is gonna be it. Project Tides have to come back next week, but Seraphim Crimson move on to the qualifying match.
Yeah. I will say Seraphim Crimson, I'm gonna be looking forward to their next game because they kind of had it a little bit easy on that one because the comp on the opposite team was kind of hard to survive or really do anything.
Yeah.
Like no, there wasn't really pressure, there wasn't really survivability, and in that scenario it makes it really hard to just like go in the offensive, right? Because Finny wants to put her ult in the offensive zone and get double barriers and stuff like that, but with an era back there it's hard to win the interaction in the midfield, especially with a Drakkar that has shotgun, multiple interaction. So yeah, but there's still next week, right? So I mean,
That's right. There's always next week. And Project Tides, they made it up to bracket. Pretty good showing. Congratulations. And good seeing everybody.
yeah.
Oh, we're so back, Bam. And this time we have your favorites, the Shrimp and Shrimpers versus the Seraphim Crimson. And they're both 4-0. They're meeting in the qualifier rounds. And there is some lore to unpack between these teams because when Shrimp and Shrimpers got 5th and OSAS 11th, Seraphim Crimson was the team that took them out. And it was actually on Taiko Temple. And granted, their midfielder is different this time for Seraphim Crimson. And the Shrimp and Shrimpers actually, but yeah, it's a grudge match this time to qualify. So hot shot ad rush start on Taiko. This is pretty scary, Bam. How do you like these comps coming out?
Definitely some interesting comp. I think right now, how I see it, both comp are really good into damage, and they're both gonna play damage, right?
Yes.
But I prefer the Seraphim Crimson comp a little bit more. They can dish out a little bit more damage with the Finny goalie compared to Mako. So if Crimson can play into that advantage, they can definitely out damage them and out kill them. But you know, there's an X and an IME. That's really scary. Dash punch both on X and IME to cheese people and get kills.
Yeah, I think this is pretty strong. I mean, this is kind of like purple comp, right? Except for they replaced Era with IME. Do you think that's like going to be better for them? Or
I really do think IME is better than Era on this comp because you want to have a secondary like carry damage, right? And like IME can definitely dish out a ton of damage. If they played Era, she was gonna get fanned on the entire game, and I don't think she could have done much.
sounds good. I mean, yeah, like you said, these two teams are both here to do damage. They know how to do damage. We're seeing 4 wands, 2 each from the forwards, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Everybody took adrenaline rush except for the goalies as well. So lots of cool stuff coming out. Steam Whistle has to make a nice play with his strike shot Mako here, but the core speed from the misdirection absolutely wild to Fonk. Already brought low, no energy, no stagger, has to walk around the field. Bryson now, nice dodge, and then Kitten Ruler gets the kill onto the Fonk 10 seconds in. Unfortunate miss on the dash from the X, wasn't able to secure the kill. Yugo brought a little bit low. Kitten Ruler, nice dash, misses the strike. Trying to play around the Taiko here with Bryson. Unfortunately, the misdirection bring it in, and now Kitten Ruler going to get taken off the map. The nice primary coming out from Steam Whistle, clearing the core around the Taiko, and a great bounce coming in from Kitten Ruler, hitting the Demon Angle.
Wow, really nice angle by Kitten Ruler, and as we can see, the bloodbath is just starting. They're already a couple of kills, people are getting staggered. Really rough game state, but it's gonna be even worse later.
Yeah, I mean, Bryson is the one that is brought low this time. Master Malachi, he has the energy burst. Bryson using his bell ringer, trying to get some damage on, but he has taken off the field. We'll see him in 10 seconds, and now Steam Whistle has to hold the Kitten Ruler. This lone barrier on Taiko Temple is Shrimp and Shrimper's hope of survival here, as Kitten Ruler has full energy now, but he is down stagger, and Tafont does not want to let him get that orb. Kitten Ruler has to spend his flip, though, to get out of there alive. And Steam Whistle using a secondary clearing. Nice corner clear coming out. And now Breakson trying to take the Fonk off the map. Both forwards have to use Elusive on the side of Seraphim Crimson. Malachi trying to dribble around Steam Whistle, who holds it expertly. Now the big finish coming in. And Master X Malachi is getting the core given to him so that Shrimp and Shrimpers can hit the core and the player, and he is holding in the corner but taking turns with the Fonk. Unfortunate clear, bounces off the Taiko and loses the second barrier, and just an open net for Breakson to just strike the core in. I mean, 2-0 lead from Shrimp and Shrimpers, very strong start.
Yeah, we could really see in that point where the corner offense was crazy. The amount of damage they were able to dish out just because they were in the corner and they were triple goaling on the other side, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this Finny, doing a lot of damage here. They're trying to pile, Shrimp and Shrimpers are trying to pile damage onto Malachi. Unfortunately, Malachi has a really nice evade there, and Ruler, low on stagger, unfortunately wasn't able to get much done with his cooldowns. And now this Centauro looking mighty scary with the slice and dice into EI Rush, gets the lower barrier, no problem. And Ruler using his cooldowns to run for his life. Breakson uses the flip though, and Yugo holds even with the X Maximus. But Steam Whistle does have flip now, so with the power of Breakson's X being there, they might be able to get the core out. Unfortunate sync up on the clear, but Steam Whistle does get it through, and Yugo gets the clear back to Malachi, who has core flip now. And oh my gosh, Fonk just got chunked down from full health, I believe. He does have one stagger. Great patience from Steam Whistle holding, but unfortunately he does lose the second barrier, and core flip comes out. Bell ringer comes out. Everyone using everything they can to get it through, but this time the Shrimpers clear. Steam Whistle, good clear, but Taiko bounce again. working against them, and 2-1 catching up is the Crimson.
That was so unfortunate. That was a really good defensive masterclass by both Steam Whistle and Kin Ruler. They were able to hold it down really far. Just an unfortunate angle on the Tycho that scored the goal.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of damage layered on, but we want to see... We're not seeing like a team completely outbrawl them right now, the other team right now, right? So I think it's going to really come down to who can keep the other forwards' energy down lower, who can have a better energy economy. Master of Malachi using the Zentaro passive wonderfully, getting the lower barriers. So 1 barrier each now for both teams. Breakson playing a little bit of midfielder while Ruler tries to get some harassment onto Yugo, gets shot by Funk though, and now Master of Malachi brought dangerously close to the edge, and Steam Whistle coming in to trade places. And Shrimpers want to pile on some pressure. Yugo does have energy burst though, so the hold might be pretty nice, but the glitch pop slips it through Yugo, and Breakson trying to pile onto Defonk, who does get the orb, but he is brought low without stagger now, and Malachi also got staggered just moments earlier. Great clear from Steam Whistle, great Mako Cage, a little bit dangerous Bell Ringer, but the core does get through, so it's all good. Malachi has to use core flip to get try and pressure Kitten Ruler, but no kill just yet. Kitten Ruler also has an evade, and this orb is coming out, so he's going to heal Steam Whistle. Unfortunately, loses top barrier, and the nice bounce from Defonk with his dying breath. 2-2 tying it up for Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, it was definitely unfortunate there. Steam Whistle went for the kill, but Defonk was had enough time to actually get to the core and score the goal.
Yeah, I mean, do you think this is those teams are playing to their win cons though? I mean, great rush, yeah.
Right now, I feel like Shrimp and Shrimpers are playing better damage-wise. I just stopped talking, my bad. I was like, holy, that was crazy. It was a crazy save, but unfortunately the Finny dies and the point ends.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, and Brayson does manage to get it through the big finish. So we see the draft here. Bam, tell us more about this one.
Definitely a lot of interesting thing. Spec training, interesting on the X, but it takes Stinger, which is fine. There's definitely 1-2 punch on Zen is really scary. Probably gonna get it here. And there's a Spark, which, you know, for scaling, okay, I was not expecting spec trading Zen for sure, but and taking the Spark on the last is good value, but yeah, the spec trading Zen is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I think there might have been a little bit of draft communication issues going on, but I mean, this is also new meta, right? It's been like a day or two, and both teams are really feeling it out, and Breakson trying to feel how much damage he can do onto Master Malachi with the new Stinger, and so far it's doing really great. Steam Whistle knocking Malachi around with a strike shot with the primary, unfortunately not really leading to a kill, but does get the lower barrier while Malachi is dying on the other side of the field. Shrimp and Shrimpers look like they want to confirm the kill. Unfortunately, Malachi's not going to, you know, stand at the edge and let him do that. Oh my goodness, dangerously close to dying there, and Kitten Ruler does protect the top corner, and Malachi brought low once again. I mean, this is a really scary moment here for Seraphim Crimson, but Steam Whistle is slightly caught off position. Ruler has to be there to save. Finally, they get the pesky Zentaro off the field, but Tefonk is holding like a champion in the midfield, conceding ground slightly now, and gives Breakson time to come up, and Yugo kind of getting bounced off by Kitten Ruler, and now Shrimp and Shrimpers. All the pressure in the world. Nice stun with the Bell Ringer. Just uses a flip, gets Yugo off the field, making sure they can continue that offense with the Shrimp and Shrimpers. Great angle by Kitten Ruler, making Tefonk use his energy flip. And there we go. Nice double KO coming in from Shrimpers as Steam Whistle seals the deal.
Yeah, we could see at the start of the point, Shrimp and Shrimper having difficulties actually killing the Zen. But when they did, it's just, they got ad rush, and then they were able to kill even more people. So I mean,
I mean, great flip. Great.
Yeah,
flip.
that was a great flip. That was a really good flip. Double barrier to flip. I mean, the classic. You know, this is Tycho. You know.
Yeah, I mean, also want to highlight Breakson making sure he's staying patient. He can get the core in at the right time, making sure the gates are open before he just strikes the core at it randomly, you know? And Yugo losing top barrier. Shrimp and Shrimpers looking to close out this set 3-0, and and that's what they want. They want to be ahead in drafts. They want to snowball even more. They want to have a monopoly on all the survivability awakenings and the power awakenings, right? So we're seeing Kitten Roller brought down low though, and nice core control, and misses the strike on the big finish, and that is going to be costly as they lose the second barrier. Steam Whistle having to 2v1 and gets it done. Grayson unfortunately misses his first strike and ends up losing the second strike for to Fonk now, and Fonk looking dangerously low though. This wand damage is insane. Fonk just brought down his health bar, nothing but a mirage, but no matter, he can, if he lives, he can just get the core in. So 1-2.
Yeah, that was interesting play. Fonk got bumped into Steam Whistle's secondary, and then the secondary brought the ball to him, and then he was able to score. That was weird. That was definitely weird.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just happens like that, you know, the core control doesn't work out the way you want it to do, and this is Malachi to Zentaro with the spec training, with the core flip as well, and that's going to be one barrier unfortunately used on the second core flip. I think it was for Steam Whistle, but Steam Whistle does live on, and a good kill onto Kitten Ruler by Fonk. Now Yugo does concede the barrier as well. The Bell Ringer coming out, unfortunately wasn't able to make stuff work. The Mako Cage, nice stall, but the unfortunate core traveling into the Mako, and Fonk a nasty core flip, but Steam Whistle does clear it, and now Breakson dodging in without fear. Honestly, that's a really scary moment, but he has flipped now, and he's trying to hold it as he heals up, and Kitten Roller somehow gets the core pass. Yugo and Fonk gets the second barrier. Nice clear from Steam Whistle, very cognizant of the distance, and a little bit ping maybe on Breakson as he misses the strikes, and Kitten Roller gets the core pass to Fonk. Once again, great cyber swipe and a glitch pop securing the set. Core flip not needed.
Yeah, as we can see, the 1-2 punch value goes crazy right now. The red cores by Kitten Rulers was just a nightmare for Seraphim Crimson to actually deal with. Oh boy. Okay, here, draft is very interesting. Prize Fighter, the problem is your goalie's first pick, but you should definitely pick it. Okay, well, Prize Fighter is right there. Please. Team, I trust you. I know you can pick Prize Fighter. No,
they're gonna pick Finals.
Okay, Breakson, please.
Breakson's prize. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm very surprised that Finny didn't take Glass Cannon. More damage, more speed. Opting for the Fighter Fly, where the Zen could have taken it. Would have been really good for survivability with the secondary, cooldown reset, yeah.
Alright, this is because it's been 8 seasons since you last played OSAS fam, but I'll tell you, OSAS Mind, that Fighter Flight was a deny for the X.
I see. I see.
So that's what happened. Malachi's gonna get taken off the field. I mean, it's really scary, and it looks like Shrimp and Shrimper's got a really good end of the draft here, especially Brayson just getting 2 stacks of Prize Fighter, just knocking it past Yugo here. I mean,
yeah, it's gonna be hard for Seraphim Crimson to come back, because already Shrimp and Shrimper looks good, and they're gonna scale more in this point.
Yeah, the fact that Prize Fighter kind of was able to get skated down to this X, who was already getting massive kills of super fast red core, getting barriers on both ends. Red core give it and take it to Fonk. Great use of the, I think it's called Exocloak, and he gets
Xenocloak,
Xenocloak, yeah. So he hides and wins the strike war against Steam, and now Kitten Ruler sneaking the orb. I think that was Yugo's orb, but now it's Kitten Rulers, and now Shrimper is playing with an open net, but they are well positioned to take the barrier of Crimson. Not if that happens. Oh, but if that happens, if Fonk gets knocked off the map. All right, hold on. Shrimper's doing really great glitch pop from Kitten Ruler, making sure the barrier count is even, and the cyber swipe from downtown, getting a 2-0 lead for Shrimpers. This is match point.
Yeah, that point was all Kitten Rulers. Breakson did a ton of damage, but Kitten Ruler was the one ending everything. The kill and the goal.
I mean, huge value coming out from Kitten Ruler. Unfortunately, missed strike shot from Steam Whistle means that the lower barrier, it will be taken, and that IME turret ensuring, oh my goodness, Malachi did not stand a chance against the onslaught of the Shrimpers, not with those awakenings that they have going on, and the big finish from Bini unfortunately faces the wrong direction. Kitten Ruler wants to end this quickly. He uses the core flip. He's 1-2 passing it with Brayson, who uses his bell ringer and Steam. Oh, nice flip. Unfortunately loses the strike war to Fonk's shotgun. And now it's a dangerous situation, actually. Low energy economy here for Shrimpers, while Fonk still has 1.5. But no matter, nice passing play with his own turret. Kitten Ruler securing the victory for Shrimpers.
Yeah, solid game by Shrimp and Shrimpers. They played into damage, which I feel like Seraphim Crimson just didn't go for, interestingly enough. Like, in the draft, they just didn't go for Damage Awakening, which was kind of interesting. Yeah, leaving Pricefire open definitely cost them a lot, especially with an ad rush start. Like, you can't get that through. But, I mean, Shrimp and Shrimper played so well into damage, and they were able to survive and kill them more. As we can see in the stats, like, look at this. 13 kills to 4. And they were both playing double wands. I mean, the stat speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, and you go on to Finny too. He had potential to debuff a lot of the Shrimpers, but the Shrimpers do come out ahead in terms of brawling and scoring here. So congratulations to Shrimp and Shrimpers qualifying week 3, beating out their grudges from last season. And when we come back, I believe we are going to be casting 2.5 players against the winners of Dream Crush and the Platinum Horde.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
All right, we're back, and this is the final match of the night, I believe, and it's Dream Crush who beat the Platinum Orb to come up here in their qualifying match against 2.5 players. So Dream Crush, I believe, has one of the people you know, Bam. They have Mythic Actuary, who's a super good brawler, coming in, and they beat the Platinum. They meet 2.5 forwards on Atlas Lab here on a team player primetime start. How are you looking at this, Bam? How did the comps look?
This is very interesting. An Atlas in this meta is definitely something, but it can work. I like the Drakkar forward for Mythic here. I think Asher can work, and because they're not playing damage, this is definitely going to be core control, and I think both team comp can work if they play well.
Yeah, no wand in sight. Nature is healing, except for perhaps Insane Membrane walking off the side of the field. He's back now, but I do know traditionally 2.5 players have struggled with Membrane's ping. Maybe that's why they're called 2.5 players, actually. I'm not sure. But yeah. That makes sense, right? But yeah, no wand to be seen. Everybody playing Mags, Slicks, and all those subpar Awakenings, and Insane gets a great primary onto Ray Ian's Atlas. I believe he does not have an Expanse up, but he does have energy up to use a core flip. But JP Mac loses sight of the core for a bit, and Mythic gets the core in.
Yeah, good angle by Mythic, and like you said, still Mags, even though the gear got killed. It's interesting pick for sure, and I see the Pum's Asher. She got less power 2 patches ago, but you know, maybe it can work. It's just gonna be harder to get kills, but you know, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, Comfy Yuki utilizing that slick kick speed to be a demon on the midfield. Unfortunately, they're gonna have to slow down for a little bit, but the turret comes up, and Ray Ian has to use the core flip, and Mingo also uses the core flip to stay alive, and the Celestial Intervention healing him up. Mythic Actuary running in with Xeno Cloak with the flip, using it onto Insane Membrane, who has to take a break for another 10 seconds as Comfy Yuki trying to strike war loses, and a great piercing shot from Estelle as well. Unfortunately, wasn't enough to get the goal, and a really scary moment there as Mingo almost traps that core there with the piercing shot, but unfortunately wasn't able to happen, and Zane gets the barrier open, and Mythic Actuary kind of has to run for his life. Gets the orb now, though, and can depressure now, running away from Comfy Yuki's Cyber Swipe radius, and Crystal Thorns and Shotgun coming in, but JP Mac holds very chill, and Insane pushes it through Ray Ian, who had no skills left.
Yeah, great point by blue team. We're able to core control pretty well. Missed opportunities for the red team, unfortunately, on offense. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out. They had a power play and weren't able to converge.
Yeah, I mean, they're a strong team for sure, right? They're playing well. They're getting the points. They just need to secure the points, and this is definitely a team that can make that happen. As the black hole goes down, Mingo gets the top barrier, and Mythic and Mingo playing a nice forward duo here. JP Mac is cool with it though, and uses the primary to get the core out of harm's way, as it's both teams have one barrier, but Comfy Yuki here looking a bit scary on the stagger department. He is brought low. Preemptive core flip used by Mingo. Unfortunately, that's not going to lead to them getting the core, but Mythic Actuary, nice redirect, and using the Crystal Thorns, Mingo gets it through. JP Mac, finally the gates fall.
I really like the flip by Raylon. Was able to keep the offensive pressure, and what happened was just a goal after, so really well done by Raylon.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ray Ian's doing an amazing job. This does mean that Insane Membrane and JP Mac both have energy advantage, and Mythic Actuary still a little bit to go before he can contest the core flips. And Insane here coming in, getting the barrier perhaps a little too easily. JP Mac linking it up, and Insane with the strike core, tying it up 2-2, and keeps the core flip on his own.
Yeah, it's gonna be scary for red team, for Dream Crusher, to actually like win this with Membrane still having flip. It's gonna be interesting. They definitely need to watch out.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very scary damage coming out, actually. Insane and Mythic both brought down low, even though there was no wand to be seen. And Insane using the pass splitter, putting Mythic Actuary down and getting the top barrier in return. Ray using his strike shot to get Insane cracked, but it's still scary, and the core flips up. And yeah, Asher just pushing it through. 3-2. Close set, but 2.5 players coming out there ahead. So we go to the draft.
yeah, unable to confirm the kill. Definitely unfortunate. Here, lots of great thing. Mako taking Twin Drive makes sense. Bulk Up is going to be interesting. People are dying on both sides. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Jakar was going to take it. Fireflight really strong. Taking Explosive, I like that as well. I mean, he's probably going to take Bulk Up or Timeless here. And the Spark of Strength on Asher is definitely solid. I'm surprised about the mon you pick on Aimi. I'm surprised.
It's Atlas Deny. It's Atlas Deny, but Atlas is okay with Siege Machine here, right?
Yeah, of course. I think Siege Machine Atlas is probably better than Monu. Just getting that extra range on the right click, especially with the nerf, where the range got nerfed and it lingers less, which makes it way harder to actually time it. Because before you could just, you know, chug it and be like, oh yeah, it's fine for a while. But now, like, you gotta be more careful about timing your right click with Atlas.
I see. Yeah. So is who do you think got the better end of the draft here? Is it 2.5 players or Dream Crush?
I definitely think Dream Crush got the better awakenings, but it's gonna be scary with Asher having bulk up, being able to scale with exactly like this, just getting a kill out of the power. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I see that potential here, especially with the pumps coming out. And oh no, Core slipping past the Expanse. And a lead for blue team here. Yeah, scary moments coming out. We're seeing glimpses of what this team can do.
Yeah, crazy the secondary of Atlas didn't catch that. I'm gonna be honest, I was not expecting that. Crazy point.
Absolutely, yeah. And Insane Membrane is looking to put on a lot of pressure, taking the barrier past Ray Ian and Comfy Yuki here with the slicks, with the core flip as well. And Mythic Asteroid coming to help his teammates. Good decision and kills, but no problem. Comfy Yuki is there to score the goal, and that's what counts at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely focusing a little bit too much on the kill, and kind of cost a goal inside of Dream Crusher, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, good plays from Mingo on the top lane here, and Mythic actually just shotgunning it past JP Mac here, and a nice turret from Aimi. Mingo wanted to dribble off of it, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. An Insane Membrane almost gets knocked off the field. Radiant thought that too as the Celestial Inspiration comes out, but Mingo does hold, and unfortunately a missed strike shot means that the barriers are open for both teams now, and Insane Membrane just hanging out in the front of this Atlas, making the Expanse come out in a nice angle from the Aimi. Comfy Yuki nailing the goal, securing a quick second set here. 2.5 more players are running away with it.
Yeah, looking pretty dominant. Definitely a nice flip on the Aimi. Okay, here, draft, really interesting. There's extra special Aimi, but she's overing Super Surge, which is fine. It's not bad. Dash range, get a little bit more of killing. I'm definitely looking at Missile Prop Jakar, but there's going to be a Mako deny. And, like, Asher trying to kill more, right? So the 1-2 punch makes a lot of sense. And, you know, pretty classic draft. Nothing spectacular either.
So do you think anything can turn it around for Dream Crush, or is this draft a little too late?
It's a little too late. Nothing that really makes like nothing that's wowing you in the draft that makes it like, oh yeah, it's going to be completely different. So it's going to be, they need to play better just to actually win the point and not like, you know.
I get it. I mean, play better, win more, right?
Exactly.
Name of the
You
game,
get it.
Yeah, we're not playing with Mega Strikers. We're playing play better, win more. Mythic actually getting cute with the dribbles there. Oh my goodness, and he has flicks too. So that's a nice dribble. Oh my gosh, Insane Membrane. I mean, that stagger, that bulk up is really adding up here. As Ray Ian also not quite safe on the goal line there, but we are going to see Mingo come back soon. That primary coming out, making sure, and a nice strike war from Mingo. Comfy Yuki unable to work that core flip magic this time, but the Mako Cage coming out from JP Mac halts the attack, and Ray Ian actually had to use the Celestial Intervention on himself, and now he has core flip over Insane Membrane first, and Myth Gasher trying to shotgun it past JP Mac, but the secondary halts that, and Insane Membrane looking for a kill, even in that angle is really scary. What a good play here, and gets it past Ray Ian as they look to get away with this lead. Does 2.5 players.
Yeah, we could really see Insane Membrane get a ton of pressure on both forwards with just the menacing Asher pumps, like doing a ton of damage and a ton of knockback. Really hard for both forwards on Dream Crusher to actually do their job. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing this Mako hold secondary and just really so much pressure that Dream Crush is doing. I mean, that wasn't a good example, but do they have to play around this Mako? Like, what can they do here? As
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Definitely stalling the core a little bit more could be better, or just passing between each other, because you can't really get past a Mako secondary strike, right?
Yeah, I see. I mean, JP Max doing so well, but there we go. Some example of passing it around to Mako. Mythic actually gets through bottom side up the net, as we're seeing some signs of life here from Dream Crush.
Yeah, it's not over. It's not over. You know, 2
Play better
points.
with more.
Exactly, 2 points, and that's a set win, and then it's an entirely new game.
All right, well, we'll see how it goes. As Mythic actually brought down low by Insane Membrane, but the Celestial Intervention going to heal him right back up. I believe that was actually buffed this patch. And, oh, even gets it through to Mako secondary, does Mingo. And now Mythic actually trying to turn the tables onto Insane Membrane as Mingo with flip. He has to be careful of the edge and the black hole and everything. Mythic actually finishes the job, but that does cost a barrier. And, oh, my goodness, Ray Ian too slow to get into position. 2-1 lead now. This is match point for 2.5 players.
Yeah, match point. Very unfortunate. The Mako cage was able to bounce it on the midfield towards the Aimi, which just get a free goal.
Really scary pressure with the turret coming out as well, and this is a really thick Monumentalist turret, so no increase on the duration, but oh my god, it does look really impressive, and the Rose Wart coming out from Mingo, who has the flip. This could be the saving grace, doesn't use it, as Dream Crush ties up the score 2-2, and Mingo has a flip.
Yeah, there's still life. There's still life in this game. They can still do it. They have a flip. They don't have the energy advantage, but you know. You can believe. You can believe. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
Of course, I'm a believer. Of course.
That's right. And Insane Membrane gets a nice double barrier onto Ray Ian, and we're still believing here that this game will continue as the flip, Mingo, the flip is being used, and now Comfy Yuki is the one with the flip, and 2.5 forward are the one with the flip advantage. Unfortunately, Insane Membrane showing why he's a half player right now as he pings out and misses the strike, and Comfy Yuki and JP Mac both have a flip. They can link the pass, dashing it through Ray Ian. Oh, gets it out somehow. Ray Ian, what a hold from Dream Crush. Unfortunately, the glitch pop, though, from Comfy Yuki seals the deal. A great victory here from 2.5 forwards as they're the second team to qualify this week.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really well-played game by the blue team, and you can see how dominant they were in core control, even like killing a little bit with the Pumps Asher. It was working out really well for them, and for Dream Crusher, there's always next week, right? It's not the end of the day. They will have stuff to work on, but I think getting that far is still a good step forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 3 out of 4 weeks, so there are 2 more slots left in OSAS 12. There are going to be only 8 teams qualifying to finale starting this season. And so, yeah, we're going to see a bloodbath in week 4 coming up next Thursday for the teams. And when we come back, we're going to come back with ISS. And I think we will... What's the words?
Oh, we'll be right back.
There we go. welcome back, and we're casting ISS this time, and this is the qualifying match between Seraphim Vermilion and Seraphim Oxblood, and we're actually just coming off from casting Seraphim Crimson, so Seraphim's still alive, guys. I don't know, but this is gonna be on Taiko Temple with a heavy impact glass cannon stars, so a super high value awakening, high impact awakening, especially for this meta. What do you think, Bam? How do you feel about these two teams?
Yeah, I mean, I see a Vice on one team and not a Vice on the other. I'm just saying that's kind of crazy. The Dubu is not gonna do much, like especially with that start. I mean, I guess you could play Poldred with glass, and you're gonna do a couple of damage. But you know, I think Xera Vice are gonna dump complete damage. But the Drakari is very nice with the Estelle to be able to just, you know, proc siphoning one permanently. And yeah, they can definitely out damage him. It's just the Vice is so scary. The Vice is so scary. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, this is Mexican Casual on the Vice with the eject button. Wands are back, 4 wands, and a lot of damage. And yeah, if Dubu can clear, this could be huge. But as we kick off already, we're seeing a lot of damage onto the Drakar Knight coming here. And double barrier on the side of red team, though, as Max Casual, unfortunately, too slow. And the goal is secured by Seraphim Oxblood. There we go.
Yeah, that's a lot of Seraphim, you know? It's kind of hard to keep track. I get it. But like, as we can see, like the Vice kind of struggles when she doesn't have ability, right? Doesn't really have movement. She's just there. Like, if you dump damage, after that, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, but it's scary for sure. But I mean, Oxblood are getting the value here. Knight brought low though, as Mexican Casual does lose sight and control, and Lai's this time piercing shot through the goal.
Yeah, I really like how Oxblood is playing it, really playing around the Vice, backpassing to be able to go around her, and they know she doesn't have abilities, so they can just shoot at the net, and it's in.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and on the side of Vermilion, they don't have time to scale, okay? Like, Era X, they don't have like 3-4 sets to get Awakening to scale. They're gonna, like, they need to snowball now, and unfortunately, this doesn't look like the case right now, too soon, making sure that he gets core control as Knight, you know, hides his way in, unfortunately gets shrunk by the Era Beam, and low stagger now, fights back on his own, but Mexican Casual trying to get the core out with the Supernova. Mixed bag of results here, but this is Vice with a core flip playing around the midfield here. Lai's brought low. Cloak Oak almost taken off the field. Cloak Oak's not even level 2, by the way. He wants to hit level 2. He wants to get that X Maximus going, but right now, things are looking rough. But now, there we go. Vermilion getting the first point, catching up to Oxblood.
Yeah, I mean, we could see on that point, when they get offensive pressure, they just win, because the combo of Vice plus Era plus X in the offense, in the corner, it's kind of unbeatable.
Super scary, super good plays from Psyche coming out, getting the second barrier in the top lane. Cloak Oak brought dangerously low. He wants to live and get the orb and not spend energy, but perhaps it's too much. He does spend energy, all right? He can't have everything. And Knight holding his core flip now for an offensive play, but Psyche comes in, unfortunately loses to the log. Very well played by Too Soon. And Knight bringing Psyche down low, and the somersault on the hunt. Mexican Casual losing both barriers. This is looking scary really quickly for Seraphim Vermilion, the blue team, and Too Soon taken off the field with random Arenado. Great placement from Psyche as blue team trying to ramp up their attack, but Knight is good with the shotgun, with the piercing shot. Lai's turns the table onto Psyche, and Oxblood are buying enough time for Too Soon to come out, and perhaps even around Mexican Casual device here as they are holding on for dear lives. And Psyche's coming back, and Knight fighting with Cloak Oak in the midfield. Great Nado and a great Supernova preemptively placed, and gets the pressure out from Lai's. Wins against the Crystal Thorns as well, and Cloak Oak looking dangerously low. They share an orb together, Mexican Casual and Cloak Oak, and dodging the piercing shot. Now this may be enough because Cloak Oak does have core flip. Mexican Casual, great clears. Cloak Oak has to use the flip. Knight brought down low and now staggered, but there's a little bit of core controlling going on. Cloak Oak gets the core on the rebound, gets past Too Soon. 2-2 tied up our Seraphim Vermilion.
Yeah, really well played by Mexican Casual, flipping for the pass. I mean, Cloak didn't get it the first time, but it's okay. The ball bounced back to him, you know?
Yeah,
all good.
Yeah,
Yeah, completely. But like, yeah, I feel like Clocoke is getting fanned on a lot. It can't really play the game, so it's gonna be very interesting to see how he adapts after the draft.
Yeah, Clocoke. Oh my goodness, a supernova just getting Knight. I mean, just because you're hidden from view doesn't mean you're actually invulnerable to damage, and a great clear away from the piercing shot, away from the log by Mix Casual as well. Too soon. This is a Dubu with the core flip, and Knight winning the strike war with the shotgun against Mix Casual, and both teams' barriers are open. This set has a lot riding on it, Bam, and yeah, with Cloco needs to kind of scale up and get healthy so he can actually play this Omega Strikers game, but Psykeen and Mix Casual are more than enough to clear too soon with the Dubu with the flip, but Psykeen has the flip to answer, and perhaps a little greedy to close it out was Seraphim Mossblood as they lose the costly first set.
They were looking so good for the first couple of points, and then just one overextend, and it's over.
Vice first pick.
I mean, there's ad rush. Not thinking the ad rush. Interesting. But I get it. Right now, you're not really killing, but you left missile prop open for the Drakkar, and I don't think the era wants missile prop. Taking ad rush, which is not really great value, because now Drakkar gets missile prop, Dubu probably gets twin drive, and you can take size or you can take spark. Both are pretty good. Taking size, all right, I get it. I think it could have been drafted better by blue team, 100%. That ad rush era does not get really good value. Would be way better on your Vice.
Oh my goodness, or on the X, because Clocoke just got a great kill onto Lilas, does not stand a chance. But yeah, I mean, if the game starts feeling weird, Vermilion can probably point to this draft and be like, where did we go wrong in this situation? But I mean, plenty of damage to go around to share as Knight also goes off the field by Clocoke. I mean, this is crazy as Lilas and Too Soon just holding for their dear lives. They're stacking up, they're layering their strikes, making sure they do everything right, and they're actually rewarded for it. Hello, Psykeen, getting the core over to Too Soon, actually, who's getting it to Lilas, and this is a dangerous push still, and a nice evade clear from Too Soon, but the flip from Clocoke, as well as the Supernova backup from Mix Casual, absolutely crazy. And the Summer Assault, not enough, as Psykeen is able to secondary her way around it, as she's there. The era's there as they continue their momentum. The Seraphim Vermilion 1-0 on the second set.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the pressure was overwhelming for Red Team, and it was really rough getting in the corner, like I said earlier, just getting pumped by damage. You can't really respond. You kind of have to get to clear the core, but like you're going to get damaged and punished.
Yeah, I mean, Knight once again getting chunked down. He has no evade. He's going to get that orb, though, with the Xenocloak, and that's enough to get him into the safe zone as Mexican Casual eject buttoning in. Has to use his flip, though, just to be safe, because Knight was, I think, waiting with a shotgun and a Molten Blast or something. It's Drakkar special, and then Knight Supernova getting the... slipping it past Too Soon. The core going red and getting the top barrier does Seraphim Oxblood, but they do have to play with open nets on their side, and Psykeen and Mexican Casual on one side and Clocoke on the other with almost a flip. Clocoke needs to be... is getting pressure down. He does spend his energy, but now Too Soon making sure that Clocoke can't regen for free on the other side of the field. And this is Too Soon with the flip, though, so you gotta watch out. There's a high risk payload going across the field right now, and Clocoke just constantly having to play around Too Soon here, and Too Soon Dubu maneuvering expertly around Clocoke. But now you have Mexican Casual on the front lines, and Knight sneaking in there with this buff speed, getting the core in, and Seraphim Mossblood coming back with vigor.
Yeah, you could see Knight seeing the opportunity, getting ganged up by Clocoke and Psykeen, but he was able to secondary and get to that core first, and the Vice can't really do a lot. Like, you don't have abilities, you can't really cover the cross.
For sure. I mean, it's fun until it's not on the side of Seraphim Vermilion, and when it's not is when Mexican Casual doesn't have his abilities anymore. But a nice attack on the top lane from Clocoke and Psykeen. Unfortunately, the core goes a bit red, a bit fast, and a bit around, and unfortunately they do lose their barriers in return. So this is open barrier situation for all teams now, and Clocoke does have to flip Too Soon on the other side with the flip. Clocoke spends his flip. Unfortunately, the core bounces a weird direction, and that's going to be a 2-1 lead for Oxblood. Can they close it out this time, though?
See, flip on Dubu, pretty interesting, but no evade on the Estelle, no evade on Cloco, no evade on Mexi Casual. You know, a lot of damage can be given right now.
Yeah, they might be sitting ducks, but I mean, Cloco is used to being the one dealing damage, and oh my goodness, the Vice secondary just crushing the dreams, honestly, of whatever Shotgun Blast Knight was hoping to do, and he has to run around, get the orbs, let go of the pressure on Cloco, as they're pushing down bot lane is Cloco and Mexi Casual, but Dubu is really good with the clears. Mexi Casual unfortunately misses the strike, and the lower barrier falls on the side of Seraphim Vermilion, but now this is Psykeen layering up a nice Shotgun Blast from Knight. Mexi Casual, unfortunate Supernova, but does salvage it, but the Crystal Thorn from Lylise is going to secure that second barrier now on Tycho Temple as Cloco maneuvers, gets the top barrier, but this is all the space they have, but Psykeen comes back. Very good timing, a heroic timing actually, to save the day for Seraphim Vermilion, and now they're looking to wail on this lower barrier of Seraphim Ospa too soon with the flip though, and preemptive Rose Warp as well, but Psykeen, oh my gosh, just winning the Strike Wars, winning the flip against too soon, and Mexi Casual just has to threat the core around. Knight almost taken off the field. Scary moment coming in with the Storm. Cloco, X Maximusing it, tying it up 2-2 as Seraphim Vermilion making it competitive, making it hard for Oxblood to get a set.
Yeah, I mean, you could see Oxblood were struggling to actually clear the core away from their zone, and it really cost them, because after that, Cloco just had to win one interaction from the goalie, and the goal was in the net.
Yeah, Mexi Casual with the flip almost ready now. That's gonna one hit, that's gonna be it. And he has flip now. Psykeen brought dangerously low. Knight doesn't have flip quite yet. Mexi Casual uses his flip. The piercing shot wins, but unfortunately no barrier to come off of. But Psykeen gets shot off the field, and there we go. That's the barrier. Knight also has the flip. Cloco has the flip, trying to bodyguard, I believe, the top lane here, but unfortunately the core still slips through after the bell ringer. X Maximusing on Lylise, but Lylise dodges the core flip kill from Cloco, and shotguns Cloco actually off the field, and there we go. Oh my goodness, Mexi Casual just proving me wrong, but there we go. The Rose Warp is gonna end it, and Seraphim Oxblood hard fought victory on set 2.
I mean, those sets are so close. Holy, like going 0.5 every time. Like it's something, right? Ooh, prize fighter out of the board. Let's see who takes it this time. There's explosive Drakkar as well. Can be really scary. Stinger as well. Not taking prize fighter yet. Yeah, with explosive Drakkar, I mean prize fighter too. Vice probably getting explosive, which is really good. Really good. And the Estelle is kind of stuck with not a lot. Demo is fine, getting a little bit more cooldown reduction, but like you really don't want to take stacks here. And Orb Replicator could have worked as well, giving some healing to the team, but I get the demo pick. It could have been either or, really.
I mean, stacks is actually one of the few speed awakenings out on this patch. Is it because you can just get perma shot just like that? Is that why they're not taking stacks?
Yeah, exactly. Because like you're not safe. You're not safe against both team comp. Like you're gonna die. It's just a matter of when, not if. You know?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, definitely. They definitely show improved why you can't take stacks in this economy, and too soon loses double barriers, and Knight forced back to the orbs on his side, but he still has not enough for an evade, so he has to watch out against Cloco. Uses his Xeno Cloak, uses his shotgun, but bell ringered onto the Tycho, and Cloco really wailing on Lylise as Knight has to give up either rotation. And oh my goodness, Lylise taken off a second time off the field, and this is Cloco with the flip with the Supernova, with too soon getting hit by the Supernova and the core going in. This was, I think that was checkmate there. I mean, very good offense from Vermilion.
Yeah, not a lot you can do when you have a Vice using Supernova in your zone and an X that's right beneath it that can just strike it towards the net, and then it's just, like you said, checkmate.
Yeah, I mean, Lylise looking dangerously low, Knight looking dangerously low. I mean, the value of Juan coming out looking a little bit stronger for Era X here, and Mexi Casual, getting it past Lylise, actually, it's so hard to think properly when you're getting shot, and there we go, off the Tycho you go. Psykeen Era on the drums, and Cloco, no energy, does lose once tonight, and Mexi Casual loses to Log too soon. Really good placements with the Dubu, but even has the core flip. He's playing the forward position, but unfortunately Knight does let the core slip through, loses the barrier, but Mexi Casual has to deal an open net, and I think that he's too slow for Knight's going in. Oh my goodness, Seraphim Oxblood, 1-1.
Oh, very unfortunate. They had such a good point, and then it just trickles in. Sometimes it does happen, you know. You can't really do much. It's gonna happen once in a while, and for them, it's right now.
Yeah, did it have to be on the qualifying match? I don't know, but definitely happened. And Psyche just okay. The angle was a little bit unfortunate, but it does get the lower barrier. And now Lily's and Too Soon trying to chunk down Cloak into top lane, but X Maximus popped and immediately they have to seize. Lily's having to burn Rose Warp, but does get Cloak low. Knight wants to hunt, but there we go. Gets the shotgun off at the cost of some health, but this is good. Psyche, great flip from Psyche, getting the Drakkar off the field as well, combined with the Storm. I mean, that was just wonderful era gameplay from Psyche. As Cloak gets back to that top lane, waits out the piercing shot from the Estelle, gets it through. The Tofu Portius though is really nice, and Lily's is still there. Unfortunately, Psyche just primaries him off the field, and Mexicasual now again, great lock placement, but that's where it ends as Mexicasual has the core flip and X Maximus core and the goalie. There we go, Cloak 2-1 lead for Vermilion.
Hey, we can really see the stinger value on Cloak. Just perma getting them low, and they can't really do much about it. They can just suffer through it. But Knight, he was getting some stacks on Prize Fighter, but now he lost it, so he's back to 1. He really wants to stack him up, because like that's definitely his win rate. Because you're against a kill comm, it's gonna be hard to survive. But like if you kill them back, you don't need to survive. They're just dead.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And oh my goodness, a somersault from the Dubu on the drums, and gets X off the field, and that could be the break that Oxblood needed. Every single one of these sets have looked close so far. I don't see why this one shouldn't either, as Oxblood looking to close this one out as they have an open net, and this is Dubu with a core flip. Psyche does use the Era Storm, and wonderful Storm forcing Too Soon to use his flip defensively. Does get the core out though, so that was value, and the Bell Ringer making sure Lily's can't react to that core going out. Nice clear from Mexicasual, once again holds against the piercing shot, and a little bit unfortunate clear from Psyche, and can't do them all, but a 2-2 tie up for there from Oxblood.
Oh boy, hey. In the middle, to the demon angle, to in your own net. What a goal. Just not on the right side, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy. I mean, these two teams, they probably, judging by their names, right, surely they played against each other and they know each other quite well. But this is Cloak stacking damage on top of Too Soon and Knight. I think Knight got the 4, but Too Soon didn't, and we see Too Soon lose and die because of that. And we have Mexicasual setting up his teleport, getting an extra strike, but oh my gosh, somehow Knight and Lily's just win the 3v2. These are some like geometry going on. Unfortunately, it's not the best of geometry, but doesn't matter. They just shove it through once again. Seraphim Vermilion edging out the set this time.
Yeah, it's just rough. When everyone's staggered on the team, you can't really do much. You can't defend. You're just gonna die real quick, and that's kind of what happened at the end of the point. Yeah, here what we can see is a ton of damage. Like, extra special on Vice is pretty disgusting. She just has to go in and ult. Here, bulk up taken by the Dubu makes sense, and peak taken by the Axe. He doesn't want to die, but a little bit more stagger helps for sure. Cast Last and just Spark of Strength. Just a pretty normal draft. Not really much to say, because I think everyone drafted perfectly in that draft, because they weren't. It was pretty linear, you know. There was not a lot of option for each team to actually like go to.
Yeah. Does a team come out ahead in this case? Like, I mean, Vice getting Happy Star, that looks pretty huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I really do think the Vice is just having too much pressure, and it's really hard for Oxblood to actually just, you know, survive and do their thing. You know, they can't kill, and they're getting killed. It's worst case scenario for them.
I mean, wonderful save by Psyche, making sure the Era Bewitching Beam gets the core out, but does die there though, so unfortunately, Era giveth, Era taketh, as Cloak has to navigate this dangerous 3v2 now. Mexicasual does have flip though, and the core speed is just really rough here, as this is gonna leave Vermilion in a more commanding position, as Mexicasual has flip, Cloak almost has flip, and Lily's brought low, Knight brought low, every bell ringer is huge. It's like a death sentence almost, and Cloakoak almost with full energy. All three of Vermilion actually have almost full energy. Summer Assault preemptively burned to make sure Cloakoak can't get in position, as well as the core flip. I mean, that was really good, but now it's time for Cloakoak. And a great Dubu wall. I mean, Tofu Fortress working for the people this time, but Psykeen just slips it through like a ship in the night. And 1-0 lead for Vermilion. This could be their set.
Yeah, not a lot of time Dubu Fortress works, but this time it worked pretty well. Unfortunately, they scored right after, but like what Uxblood need to do is get kills. Knight needs to stack this prize fire to do anything this game, because right now they're getting bullied and it's not looking great for them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one good thing is that Knight doesn't have 0 stacks on prize fighter, so he's been kind of surviving. But oh, he's getting chunked down, and he has to use a stagger here with X Maximus up. He might. Oh, okay, he's gonna just end up on the middle of the field. Some simple geometry. It's all good. And Knight is going to live to keep his prize fighter stacks. And too soon, and Lila is making sure that the barriers are holding. I mean, this is wonderful defense by Oxblood at the very, very least. And Knight finally on the hunt for Psykeen. Low energy, low stagger. And Knight just needs to charge up his shotgun shot, potentially his Molten Blast. There we go. Second stack of Prize Fighter. And the barrier, wonderful value off that one sequence from the Drakkar. Lila's almost taken off the field, but Knight is here. Nice shotgun, getting it around the Bull Rush, I believe, from Cloakoak. And, oh, nice. Lila's unfortunately misses the Rose Warp, loses the second barrier, and the Storm just carrying it to Mexic Casual, and now it's match point for Seraphim Vermilion as they look to qualify in ISS.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard for Oxblood to win this. They're taking too much damage, they're dying, and they even had a power play, but it didn't work out. But we'll see, it's still possible, you know? Nothing is over till it's over, you know?
That's right. Yeah, every single set has been 2-3, 3-2, 2-3, right? So even though Lilas is gone and Too Soon loses top barriers, looking grim. But Cloakoak uses, but this could be it. Knight can turn around. Never mind. It's gonna go in, and Seraphim Vermilion qualify for ISS finale.
Yeah, really well done by Vermilion to actually play their comp well and, you know, use the Vice to kill, you know? That's what you need to do. Vice to kill, you know? Hit people, they get staggered, and they're dead. There you go. It's that simple.
Unbelievable. This is truly concepts that nobody has ever thought of. Thank you, Bam.
Hey,
And, I
no
mean,
problem.
it's all Mexican Casual. I mean, look at the redirects on the goalies. 221 redirects each. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, the damage piling up, it was a little too much for Oxblood to handle as the in-houses go to the side of Vermilion. Great plays.
Yeah, I mean, you could just see the damage. 36k on Mexi Casual, 37k on Cloakoak. That's 15 KOs compared to 10. I mean, they still had kills on the other team. Unfortunately, it was more early in the sets and not late when Knight had Prize Fighter, which is unfortunate because definitely they just scaled better because of the Vice goalie, which was definitely the difference maker here.
I see. Thank you so much, Bam. And I think that was this one surely I think is the last one of the night. So it's
Surely.
Yeah. So thank you for casting. And
yeah, thank you, Pato. Like,
yeah,
it was nice casting with you.
for sure. I mean, I think we need a different outro.
All right, we'll be right back, like next week for OSAS
week.
and ISS. Oh yeah, we'll be.
Oh
right
yeah.